Thank you for logging on to this broadcast on wellscountyvoice.com. Since the onset of COVID-19, we have all had to experience social distancing. And this is true with high school sporting events. Our school administrators are doing their best to keep our kids, teachers, administration, and their families healthy. We are honored to be a part of the solution to contain and overcome this, as well as promote our student athletes. We wouldn't be able to bring this broadcast to you if it wasn't for our sponsors you hear throughout the broadcast. Please shop their businesses, use their services, and tell them thank you.
I'm David Morrison, President and CEO of Ossian State Bank. Welcome to this glimpse of our company.
Banking can be a difficult process, and without the right person to guide you, it can be long and tedious, also stressful. Ossian State Bank has been offering commercial and retail banking services to businesses and consumers in and around Wells County for over 107 years. We are the only locally owned and headquartered community bank in our county since 1912. Our team of bankers is professional, enthusiastic, and dedicated to helping you through every step of your journey. We continually strive to build long-lasting relationships with our customers while providing smart financial solutions that both improve and simplify your life. Come and experience for yourself today what a true community bank can help do for you.
It's a local bank.
Did you sprain your ankle playing with your kids last night? Have you had a nagging pain while training for an upcoming race? Or do you have an upcoming surgery? Indiana Physical Therapy understands how important and valuable your time is to you. At Indiana Physical Therapy, we can schedule you within 24 hours at any of our 19 convenient clinics. IPT has been a trusted part of your community for over 32 years. With trusted results, you can count on Indiana Physical Therapy to get you better, faster. You don't need a referral from your doctor, and all insurances are accepted, including Anthem. IPT is your choice for physical therapy. So what are you waiting for? Call Indiana Physical Therapy right now at 260-209-2464 to schedule an appointment, or go online to indianapt.com. Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Daniel's Jewelers on North Main Street in Bluffton has a great selection of beautiful jewelry for the fall season. We have awesome engagement rings and bridal sets with a variety of center stone shapes and gold color. We also have wedding bands in gold, tungsten, and even carbon fiber.
Who doesn't like a little bling? Diamond or gemstone stackable rings are just adorable. Petite little rings with a ton of style. We also have bar necklaces with stones or plain, and great stud-style earrings that have bezel-style settings.
There is nothing quite like the feel of gold. Yellow, rose, or white. Classic styles of earrings, hoops, buttons, and fancy shapes. We also have a great selection of sterling silver and, of course, our Steel-X jewelry.
Daniel's Jewelers on North Main Street in Bluffton, where personal service and trust become part of the memory.
Hello, this is Tim Steffen Financial Group. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving forward. We must balance staying safe and moving forward towards our needs and goals. We are here to help you with your future planning. Steffen Financial Group, located at 110 West Cherry Street, Bluffton, Indiana, would like to help you with your retirement, Roth IRAs, investments, and savings plans. Call me, Tim Steffen, or Rhonda Vandentop, 260-824-8175. And at that same location is Tim Steffen Insurance. We like to help folks with their personalized
in the tournament, something like that. Right now, let's join the Marching Knights, conducted by Mr. Corey Kelly. right, so a terrific job, as always, by the Marching Knights with tonight's Star Spangled Banner. Let's keep digging in to preview on this one. I'll give you, just kind of a preview from the Herald side. Of course, John Harrell in the computer in the Sagarin ratings projecting a 28-21 Norwell victory tonight. And I think that's very indicative of what this game might be like. Should be tight throughout, although it'd be hard to imagine we get that many points. I know New Haven throws the ball a lot. We should have a longer game tonight, more plays. When you face a Norwell team that runs the ball on 80 to 85% of its plays, and then you face a Belmont team or a Leo team that's going to do basically the same thing in return, games are going to move. You're not going to get as many possessions. Tonight might be a case where Norwell actually has chances to make mistakes offensively. They should be able to get those chances back as we move forward later down the ballgame.
Yeah, we've talked in these past games as may only get 3 or 4 opportunities in each quarter to have the ball, and I think tonight we're going to see closer to 5 or 6 opportunities for each side of the ball here for Norwell and New Haven. It'll be exciting to see Norwell try to match the intensity of the New Haven offense, as we obviously know the Norwell defense is still only giving up, 1 defensive touchdown all season. So it'll be exciting to see the schemes and the defensive plays that defensive coordinator Matt Taylor calls up against this explosive New Haven offense. And then I'm also excited to see what Coach Gerber draws up on the offensive side of the ball for Norwell. And as we know, New Haven has athletes on both sides of the ball. Yeah,
they certainly do. This is always an athletic club. There's never been any doubt about that. Kind of what you see is what you get. A lot doesn't change throughout the high school football landscape, rather, in the northeast part of the state. A lot of things, it's just kind of what you see. You be around the area long enough, and unless you go through a wholesale coaching change, which teams rarely do, you're at least going to keep pieces and coordinators from past coaching staffs. You just don't see a giant overhaul of the playbook, and that's kind of the same thing with what you get with New Haven.
That's right, yeah. And they've always ran the spread offense. They know they've had athletes in these past years, and they're going to continue to utilize them, spread the ball out, pass the ball, run the ball. They'll really hit you with everything, but I would look for them to more go outside of the tackle box, as they obviously see on film, and I'm sure they've heard Norwell's defense. The teeth of their defense are inside, so I'm sure they're going to test the outside. I'm excited to see the defensive ends work tonight, and we may see Norwell I'm expecting to see Norwell in the 3-man front tonight on defense, and have 8 in the secondary to help out and slow down this explosive New Haven offense.
New Haven does the same. They run a 3-4 with a really talented inside linebacker in the face of DeAndre Wright. Man, this kid is really special. 36 tackles on the year. He's recovered a couple fumbles, leads the team in sacks and tackles for a loss. Almost 10 of those already here on the young season through just 4 weeks.
Yeah, and that'll be nice to see him work, as we always like to see athletes on both sides of the ball there for either team, and should make the game more interesting to watch.
This kid in Wright also got some carries last year, but he's been mostly used defensively this season, and he's a special linebacker. The bulk of the carries going to Jarrell Jackson tonight, the listed starting tailback, wears number 6. All these kids are really, really solid. You look at the weights throughout the starting lineup. The tailback, 5'10", 225. The quarterback, 6'4", 220. This is just a really solid group of well-built kids.
Yeah, and like you were talking to running backs there, and I think Norwell can match that with their defensive line, as we've seen all season, as we have the Brody Bolin and Zach Christensen, 2 big boys there, and then Quinn Dryban, the senior here on senior night for Norwell. So I expect to see him have a really good game too, as I remember last year against New Haven, he had a really good game too. So
you are listening to the Billy Ann Supper Pub pregame show. Billy Ann Supper Pub is your local source for Tex-Mex, American food, and some of the best burgers in the area, located in downtown Bluffton. Bo, let's talk about Norwell for a little bit. A 45-0 win at Belmont last week. And boy, I got to tell you, it was a really fun game to watch from an offensive standpoint. Norwell did a lot of the things well that we did not see them do well through the first 3 weeks, most notably through the air.
Yeah, through the air, it impressed me a lot. Their offense was really clicking on all cylinders last week, as they faced a weaker Belmont squad, obviously, than what they're going to face tonight, and the quicker defenses they're going to face tonight in New Haven. But I'm excited, and I'm anxious to see if they're going to continue that offensive firepower and continue to have more run and pass plays, a little mix here and there instead of just a run heavy. But I expected for them to find what they'll succeed in and stick with that all night.
Norwell has taken the field, much to the delight of this limited capacity crowd. Norwell allowing just over 250 here on the home side tonight, and the visiting fans getting about 200 tickets, although it actually doesn't appear that all of those have been used. So not all those seats are full. We're about 60 seconds from expected kickoff, although New Haven hasn't taken the field, and as I look down, they're just now entering the field. So we do know that Norwell is a team that, again, struggles offensively against really good defenses. We saw it against Leo. It's a huge concern. Norwell, of course, in the only game they've lost this year was shut out, and so that's certainly something to watch for tonight.
Yeah, and like we said, I'm just excited to see the mix of plays they run tonight as I look for Norwell to continue their confidence from last week against Belmont, putting up 45 points. And surely you got to be confident coming off a win last week against the rival there in the Belmont Braves. But tonight, senior night, I know they're motivated. I know you can tell the energy in the air from this Norwell team. They're excited to finally beat New Haven here in the first time in 9 years.
East Noble plays Leo tonight as well. That is the game of the night, certainly in the Northeast State, perhaps across the entire area. The only other game that rivals that is Bishop Dwenger and Carroll, but that game takes place tomorrow night at 7 o'clock under the lights on a Saturday night, so it should be a lot of fun up in the SAC there. A lot of title implications in that conference as well. Bluffton has a good chance to get a win tonight. They host Jay County at home, so they should be able to get back on the right track with back-to-back victories after defeating Woodland last week. Of course, you can catch that right here on the Voice Sports Network. My good friend and our owner, Scott Menser, will be on the call down in Bluffton. We're situated here in Ossian. It is a gorgeous night for Friday night football. We are sitting right around 61 degrees here as we approach kickoff, expecting to fall through the 50s, perhaps in the upper 40s by the time we reach the fourth quarter, and perhaps into the 30s tonight. So we've certainly taken a turn towards the fall season, but we're just so happy we can be here. A couple of shout-outs to give. Lisa McBride, I know, is watching. I talked to Norwell boys basketball head coach Mike McBride before the game. I know she's tuned in, so we certainly appreciate her listening, and Steve Garza, of course, and all the friends there are listening in as well. Always a pleasure to be able to bring this broadcast to you. That's why we do it in a COVID age. New Haven has won tonight's toss, and they elect to defer. So Norwell is going to put their offense on the field, and we're going to get a good taste and a good feel of what they can do offensively right from the get-go.
Yeah, this is exciting for Norwell to get the ball first. I think they can set the tone early, earn some respect here for their offense against a good defense. So I'm excited to see Norwell get the ball first, and we know their defense is good, so I'm excited to see what the offense can do now.
Yeah, we certainly do. Now, they haven't been tested with an offense like New Haven's, and like we said, this should be a whole lot of fun to watch. Norwell, of course, will be tested further when they travel to Kendallville next week to take on the East Noble Knights. New Haven is at Columbia City. So both of these teams are really getting through the gauntlet of the schedule in what has become a very, very competitive Northeast 8 this season. Still a very wide-open race as we enter to Week 5.
Yeah, like we talked last week, I mean, from top to bottom, except maybe Belmont, it's a competitive conference, as I'm sure DeKalb is going to take them a couple weeks to get their feet back rolling again. But other than that, it's a competitive conference, and each conference game matters. It truly does. So tonight, very important for these Norwell Knights.
All right, well, we're just about ready to get underway, and we're ready to have a little fun on this Friday night. The kicker for New Haven is Oscar Woods, the senior. Doesn't have a tremendous leg, although it's a well-structured kick. It's a low end-over-end kick that's missed and then fielded by Luke Graft inside the 20-yard line. New Haven is all over him, and so not a good return. Norwell will start from just inside their own 20.
Yeah, kind of rolled underneath the Norwell player there. I'm not sure who it was, but Luke Graft did a good job of picking that up. But here we go. Here's the Norwell offense, and here's what we've been waiting for.
All right, so here's how Norwell will start offensively from left to right on the line. They go Dryban, Christensen, Riley, Bolin, and Patrick. Eli Riley, the starting quarterback, with Breggy, Morgan, Hafley, and Graft, the receivers, and Max Ringer starting in the backfield for the Knights. He's gotten a lot of carries. It's a rollout on the first play. Riley ducks a defender and now escapes to the left side where he has some room. Cuts back to the middle across the 30 where he'll have a first down on the first play from scrimmage.
Really nice play by Eli Riley, as we've seen him make really good decisions these past 2 or 3 weeks for Norwell. And it was exciting to see the decisions he made last week against Belmont as he scrambled, decided to throw, not always set on scrambling, is made a good decision there to get out of the pocket and pick up what he could.
So a pickup of 11 on first down will give Norwell a fresh set of downs. Max Ringer back there with Riley. Riley on the season, 21 of 43, a 49% completion percentage, just over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns and a pick. And the first down carry goes to Max Ringer. He's swallowed up defensively by Pete Poiry, the defensive tackle. He had 6 tackles on the season coming in.
I'm excited to see the battle of the line of scrimmage tonight. As I can tell from up here, there's some big boys on the New Haven line, and as we know, there's big boys on the Norwell line. So
yeah, they start 220, 245, and 210, all well built in that 3-4 front New Haven puts on. Riley will start under center this time with 2 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right. Ringer in the backfield and Bragi in motion at the snap. Ringer gets the call on second down and runs into kind of a wall, although he falls forward for a couple after second down. It'll set up third down and medium distance.
Yeah, I mean, the first down play wasn't bad. You pick up a couple yards. Look for a better second down play there, but it's still third and manageable, so look for Norwell to pass here.
Norwell on the season is 16 of 36. That's 44% on third down. New Haven defensively is giving up just 28%, so that's something to watch tonight as well. Riley on 3rd and 6 from the 35. They need the 41. It's play action. Riley throws right, and it's intercepted at the 45-yard line as Jalen Carpenter, the corner, 5'10 junior, picks it off, his first interception of the season, and it sets up New Haven on the Norwell side of the field.
Well, I saw Isaiah Bragi out open in the flat. I'm not sure if Eli saw him or not, but just kind of threw it behind the receiver there, tried to squeeze one in, and New Haven defensive back there just made a good play on the ball.
All right, so now Norwell's defense is going to be tested. Riley throws his second pick of the season. He's been really good taking care of the ball.
Yep.
We talked about this as well. Norwell is +7 now on the turnover margin. They were -7 a season ago, so that's something to watch develop as the year goes along. Jakar Williams has plenty of protection, now being chased by Christensen, keeps it himself, and escapes to the left side. A good first down run of about 5 to get across the 40-yard line down to the 39. It'll bring up 2nd and 5, and that's already Williams not that speedy, but really hard to bring to the turf.
Yeah, from up here we can tell, big boy. When he scrambles, I mean, you're going to have to hit him low, or otherwise you're not taking him down.
Again, listed at 6'4", 220, just a junior, 39 of 92 on the season. That's 42%, 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. So kind of a risk-reward quarterback, over 600 yards in the first 4 weeks. Williams looking to air it out, now is going to lose the football as the ball comes out. It's picked up by Rinkenberger, who's going to run the distance inside the 10. It's a touchdown. There's a penalty marker down around midfield. We'll see what that's for, but that would be the area of general holding. This might stand as a touchdown for Norwell.
Yeah, and as the white hat ran all the way down, I'm assuming it's going to hold up as a touchdown as well. The only other thing I could think of was a possible face mask on Williams, but it looked like kind of a high sack, but nevertheless, for right now, it's a score.
Our white hat tonight, Eric Mills. And he still has yet to make a call, though now it appears he's going to report. Flag goes back in the pocket. It was a hold, and that touchdown is going to stand. It is a scoop and score of 50 yards from Rinkenberger. And, man, that's Norwell's second defensive touchdown of the season, and it puts the Knights on top just like that.
All right, looking for a kicker here. De Leon runs out now.
Well, certainly a funky play, but Norwell's up 6-0 just like that. De Leon trots on to try the PAT. 17 of 17 on extra points is the freshman. The left footer has looked rock solid, knocked through a 35-yarder at Belmont last week. Snap back, ball down. De Leon's kick is good. And just like that, Norwell with a defensive touchdown. Joel Rinkenberger scoops it up from 50 on a sack. and Norwell takes it to the house to take a 7-0 lead.
We've stressed on the defense. I mean, that's their strength, and hey, what better way than to start with a defensive score? I mean, Norwell couldn't ask for a better start right there as they respond, pick up their quarterback there on senior night. They pick up their quarterback, make up for his mistake, and defense will be back on the field now.
Tonight, of course, is an amended senior night. These teams just don't know when your last week of football is going to be in this uncertain COVID era, but Norwell deciding to do their senior night tonight. We saw that with Belmont last week. Of course, that was their home opener as they missed their first 2 games due to COVID. Josh Scott is on to kick it off for Norwell for the first time tonight. And, man, certainly an unusual first 2+ minutes, but Norwell has a 7-0 lead. Defensive score, that's exactly what you'd expect out of the Knights, and now they kick it away and try to stop Jakar Williams and company again.
Yeah, watch for a return here, though, as we know New Haven has athletes. So.
Yes, they do. Cam Mason, Quantry Sanders back there for the Bulldogs. That's kicked towards the left quarter and returned by Jalen Carpenter, the senior. Averages 19 a return. And Norwell had pretty good coverage. They stretched him out. That's where the Bulldogs will begin. But again, Norwell was pretty good on coverage that time. Yep. Carpenter and the Bulldogs have an explosive return squad. Of course, they've had a couple of returns of 35+ off of kickoffs already this season, and the punt return of Quantry Sanders is talented as well. So the ball resting on the 24 left hash. 9:01 left here in our opening quarter, and the Knights have a 7-0 lead.
I'm excited to see the defense here respond again.
Williams out of the gun. Of course, 4 receivers split. And Jarrell Jackson, the tailback, gets the call on first down, swallowed up at the 25. Not a whole lot of room there. Norwell, again, through a limited sample size, looks pretty stout on the running game.
Yeah, like I mentioned in the pregame show, New Haven, I'm sure, is going to figure out that they can't really get much going up the middle. So I expected them to open up more, pass more, and look for more maybe jet sweeps, something outside of the tackle box.
You got to test the Norwell defense in a place that they really haven't been tested this season. I think that's a real good point to make. This New Haven team is coached by Jimmy Lynn, who has an even 13-13 record in now his 3rd season with the club. There's a penalty.
And false start.
It's
illegal motion. I don't know if he came forward before he started going across, but.
Well, in any case, it's going to back up New Haven 5, and they'll play from behind the sticks now as the ball moves back to the 20, 2nd and 14.
This is a good spot for the Norwell defense to be in, as they can have a little freedom to blitz some linebackers here, but obviously you don't want to give up anything big. But.
Well, Norwell just has not given up any big plays all season long, and I'm sure that's probably going to change now. But, you know, that's just kind of been a staple of this solid Norwell defense. A man in motion again is Jalen Carpenter. Handoff goes to the tailback, Jackson, who turns the corner to the outside, but again, he was pushed in. Initial contact was made 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Strung out again across the 23, but this will bring up 3rd and long for New Haven.
That was big number 70, Zach Christensen, I believe. Just blew through his offensive lineman. Ended up 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's perfect. Couldn't quite get his hands on him, but Norwell rallied and make it a tough 3rd and 11 here for New Haven.
Just inside of 8 minutes remaining here on our opening quarter. Gorgeous night for football. Clear, 60 degrees. And 3rd and 11 coming for New Haven. Williams to throw, escapes the pocket. Williams is wrapped up and still not brought down, but now they get the legs. The ball comes free. It's recovered by New Haven. An offensive lineman in the face of Abion Creech, the left guard, a 5'10", 280 junior. In any case, Norwell hit him early, got contact, forced a fumble, and they force a 3-and-out on New Haven's second drive.
Yeah, this Norwell defense is giving me chills right now with how stout they're playing. Obviously, Williams has had nobody open downfield as he hasn't even attempted a pass yet. So you know the secondary is doing their job so far and allowing the defensive lineman to get a chance.
Williams is also the punter, an end-over-end short kick. It is dropped by Breggy, but he jumps on it quickly back at the 35. Breggy had issues with that at Leo. Looked pretty good last week. Actually had a couple terrific returns last week. And it's just not it's not a typical return man in the fact that you've got a kid that's really well built. a strong kid and a receiver as well.
There was a flag on the play.
There was a penalty marker down back at the 40-yard line, and apparently it's a hold, so this will back Norwell up inside the 30, back to the 25.
And I was just about to mention that's not bad field position with the muff punt, but 10-yard holding penalty, as we hope doesn't turn into penalties like last week, as we forgot to mention that there in the pregame, as that's something that Norwell should really focus on, and I'm sure coaches coached them up about it, and they'll learn from that.
It was a 35-yard punt from Jakar Williams. He averages 37 on 21 punts on the season coming in. Riley under center takes the snap and hands it off. A big hole out there for Max Ringer, who cuts back in and gets a first down as he plows forward. And Norwell's looked really solid in the run department already here in this first quarter.
Yeah, they kind of got stopped a couple times there on the first drive, but that's a really nice run there on the right side of the line. As most of the time we see him run to the right side of the field, either middle or right side, as they know the strength of their line is on that right side. But good first down play there by Norwell.
So again, Norwell moves the sticks on its first play now of its second drive. Riley keeps it this time and is across midfield. Riley cuts back through a defender's across the 40. It's a foot race down the sideline. Riley's going to win it. It's a touchdown as the Knights have taken a 2-score lead.
I love that quarterback draw play by Norwell Knights. They run that. I feel like Eli Riley picks up at least 10 yards on that each play. Made a couple nice cuts. Just foot race into the end zone. Outran the New Haven athletes there. Great job by Eli.
Well, how about that? Something we did not expect to see is Norwell up 2 scores, not even halfway through the first quarter, and it's been a couple of big plays. A defensive scoop and score of 50, and then a run, big-time run by Eli Riley. As DeLeon back on to try the PAT. He's been nothing but solid all season, and this one is through as well. So Norwell is leading 14-0. with 6.5 to go here in this first quarter. A shocking score, I think, to both of us here, Bo.
Yeah, as I'm up here clapping my hands for him, as I can't help but saying that. But, Norwell's just – they're starting out hot. A big thing now will be harp on is keeping the pedal on the metal and not getting lackadaisical. As we know, New Haven's explosive is they can strike quick. So being up 14-0 is a good thing. But we know Norwell will have to stay focused this whole game.
It's a different feel when you're up 2 scores against an offense like New Haven that can strike quick and throw the ball. When you're Norwell and you're playing against a run-heavy team, a 14-point lead is pretty big.
Yep.
That's a totally different story. So I think that's a good point you brought up right there. But that appeared to be a play where New Haven was going to push him out near midfield. It was a good run by Riley, who had some space to the right side, and then cut back towards the sideline. New Haven wasn't expecting it, and he just ran all the way to the house. And so Norwell leading 14-0 as Josh Scott is back on, and this has not gone to plan for New Haven. They do not. They don't have a first down yet, and they have really struggled offensively. Norwell bottled them up there on that second drive, and now a big play for Norwell, as that's Eli Riley's by far his longest run of the season. This is a decent return out across the 25, but good coverage again on a decent kick from Josh Scott, the return man for New Haven.
Number 7, Michael King on the return.
I think it was Michael King. And so they'll start now on the 28-yard line as New Haven will try to put something together here. But Norwell has so far been fairly dominant other than that interception.
I'll tell you what, Norwell has been kind of known to have an athletic team and come out kind of timid, but tonight they're just no fear in their eyes tonight.
Officially 63 yards on the touchdown run from Eli Riley, and again, his longest of the season. His previous long was 22. Jakar Williams is back on with Jarrell Jackson in the backfield. He has not had any success thus far. Averages 82 yards a game. Williams was looking to air it out. He does complete a pass out left to Lane Woodson, the leading receiver for this team, who has caught 11 passes for over 300 yards through 4 weeks. Big play man, averages 80 a game, 4 touchdown catches, and they go for 21 there on first down to move the chains.
Yeah, I think I saw he's averaging 29 yards a catch, which is just an unreal statistic. So I'd look for number 5 to be targeted a lot.
Well, that falls in line with that as well. I mean, that was Max 21 on first down.
Yep.
And so New Haven moves the chains.
And, of course, we don't know how much of that is yards after catch, but I'm assuming
Certainly
quite a bit of that is.
Yeah, he appears to have pretty good speed as he beat Norwell's backs that time. Williams looks to throw again and will keep it. And, boy, he is a truck as he goes across the 45-yard line. Norwell did a better job that time trying to bring down the tackle. Quinn Dryban was over there as well as Max Ringer. But they went low, but still, even after that, Williams is able to fall forward for a couple yards after contact.
Yeah, but I think Norwell will take that as Ringer did a really nice job there, hitting low, wrapped up, and being sure of the tackle. That's a great open field tackle there by Max Ringer.
2nd down and 3 for New Haven. They've gone for plays of 21 and 7 on their first 2 plays here of their 3rd drive. This handoff, it's play action rather, as Williams will keep it, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more. Good pursuit that time by Joel Rinkenberger.
Joel Rinkenberger, he's already having a big game with that scoop and score there for Norwell, and I'd expect him to continue to just keep up his natural habitat there in this inside linebackers being stout.
Rinkenberger has now recovered 3 fumbles on the season, which leads the Knights, and it brings up 3rd down and about 3 for the Bulldogs. Oh, boy. that was as obvious of a penalty as you get.
Yeah, he's 7 yards down the field.
Well, the penalties have certainly been weighted towards New Haven. That's their their 2nd of the night. The first hold was declined as it was on that scoop and score.
Yep.
But again, Bo, that's kind of a turn of the tables where we saw Norwell struggle with penalties here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I might even correct you there, as they did have an illegal motion as well on the last drive.
That's right.
So, I mean, I don't know if maybe they were trying to get Norwell to jump off sides there and got their own too, but nonetheless 3rd and about 8.
So now it's 3rd and 8 for Williams. Williams has plenty of protection. He's always looking for that long bomb. Now throws across his body. It's tipped and incomplete. Max Ringer, actually, I think John Colbert down there who got his last fingertip on it, as Colbert, the corner, was able to get a paw on it. It falls incomplete. New Haven will have to be forced to punt again.
Yeah, Bill Morgan in coverage there on the intended receiver did a really nice job, not pass interfering and staying in front of his man there, and forced New Haven to punt on Norwell's side of the field again.
Williams had a 35-yard punt his first time, again end over end. This one falls to about the 10, and Brady is able to escape a tackler, and piling on at the end for New Haven, a couple of tacklers after about a 10-yard return. So Norwell will start about the 20-yard line again after a punt of 39.
Made by 62, Joseph Berkeley.
I'm excited to see them drive the field here as they start with their own 20. So I'm excited to see if they can drive the field and maybe have another big play like they did on last drive.
Neither team has had great field position with the exception of New Haven's first drive. After they created the pick, they started on Norwell's 44, but were unable to convert it into points. 4.5 left in this first quarter and a 14-0 Norwell lead. Riley out of the gun on first down will throw a screen pass to Graft, and wrapped up immediately is Graft by the outside linebacker, Jamarian Hagler. Hagler was right there after the snap, certainly expecting the play. Norwell tried to get a block out there, but that's something you catch on film, and New Haven was ready for it.
Yeah, that outside linebacker just willed his way to make that tackle, as we've seen that screen have some issues in past games.
So they lose 2 on first down. They're back to the 18. 2nd and 12 as Riley moves back under center. He gives it to Ringer. Ringer has a huge hole to the left, is dropped from behind, but thrown forward.
It's going to be a first down, Derek.
It is a first down. It moves the chains.
Man, getting thrown forward there gives him that first down, as thrown forward 3 or 4 yards, and Max is always falling forward anyways, as we've harped on that in past games, but that really helped him out there, and that was a huge hole there on the left side of the line.
No kidding, and again, that's not the first time that's happened tonight. New Haven has been fooled a couple times on the run. They've been better defending in the pass, although Riley a big drop and then dumps it off out here to Isaiah Brady, who has some room to run. Cuts back to the middle of the field as He will hang on to it and be tackled across the 45-yard line. Breggy just kind of took the contact and eventually went down, but Norwell picks up 17 to move the chains again.
We've talked about Breggy and how he's one of those bigger, more filled-out athletes, and he showed it there. He had 3 New Haven defenders on his back and just kind of threw him off and kept going for a Norwell first down.
Ringer driving forward, picks up 3. Strong run by Ringer to get to midfield.
That's a good first down play. Pick up 3 yards. As we talked, 3 or 4 yards on each play will get you a first down. So great first play there by Norwell.
Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7 on the 50.
Jace Cheney is into the game for Norwell as Miles Babcock checks out. Babcock played a good number of snaps last week at Belmont, trying to get more reps in. The 5'11 senior. Cheney is senior as well. Riley in the gun on 2nd and 7. Eli will run, tuck his head, pick up 5 on 2nd down, and set up 3rd and very short after Pete Poiry was able to make the tackle.
There's that quarterback draw again. It's been a successful play, as I mentioned earlier, for these Norwell Knights, as he picks up 5 there and makes 3rd and short.
So 3rd and 2 as we dip under 2 minutes. The first few drives have been pretty slow, not taking a lot of time off the clock. This one has been much more to Norwell's mantra, where they drive the field and really eat up the clock. And they've got a chance to move the chains here again on 3rd and 2. It's Ringer, and he is stuffed. He got nothing. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and New Haven was not fooled that time. Mason Moore, the outside linebacker, making first contact, and it's 4th and 2, and a bit surprising as Norwell brings on the special teams unit.
Yeah, it surprises us now, but I'd look for maybe a fake punt as we see Riley roll out for that rugby kick. And I know he's told that if that's a wide open, run for it.
Yeah, it's an option.
Right.
Right.
So I'd watch that here on this play.
Well,
it's not a bad territory to try it.
New Haven hasn't overloaded to the right side, which is the side that Riley would roll to. Now they kind of shift that way.
Yeah.
4 to get it off. Riley's going to have to get it off. He does. And he will boot it away. Riley doesn't take a great bounce, although it rolls to a stop at the 15-yard line. So a 30-yard punt by Riley, and slow to get up after the punt is number 9 for New Haven. That's Jamarian Hagler. And in any case, it will – oh, I guess so first contact was actually made on the 17 by the Knights, so make it a 28-yarder from Riley. One of his shortest of the season. Kid who averages 36. Just his 13th punt all year. Norwell has not had to punt the ball away a lot, except in that Leo game. It's just been a couple times a game other than that. But now, again, inside the 20. That's the 6th time Riley has done that on a punt, and New Haven, again, starts with less than desirable field position.
Yeah, Norwell making them try to drive the field again. You know, the strength of their defense.
Williams the snap. Jackson. Just not a ton there. Again, tried to get to the outside, and Norwell was able to swallow him up. Bolin and Rinkenberger in on the tackle.
You know, New Haven's run plays have kind of thrown me off guard, as they're not really fast-paced, hard-hitting run plays. They're more the zone reads. They give the running back the option to try to find a hole, but really when there's no hole there, you kind of just have to go, and that's what he's had to do.
High snap, but corralled by Williams, who throws over the middle, and it's intercepted by Eli Riley at the 40. Great block as Riley brings it back and reverses field, gets inside the 20, cuts back out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That was through the hands of Jalen Carpenter, and the Knights are set up in prime scoring position again.
Yeah, Riley right now is playing the game of his life as he's got a touchdown run and then another interception, and I hope I got that on the camera, but that was a great block by I'm not sure who, but man, right after Riley picked that off, there's just a great block there for him.
So a return of 27 after he picked it off near the 40. Another New Haven turnover has set up Norwell in great position again. Probably only going to get one play off here in his first quarter. and they've got 13 yards to get it into the end zone. So the punt actually ends up paying off after they create another turnover. Ringer gets the call on first down, runs to the left, gets near the 5. It's going to be short of a first down. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter. But, man, if you're head coach Josh Gerber and company, you could not have asked for a better first quarter than that. Norwell was dominant. They're knocking on the door again. They lead 14-0 against New Haven, trying for their first win in almost 9 years against the Bulldogs. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. This is Norwell Football on WellsCountyVoice.com.
Farms, an online meat market, has a heart for people and a focus to provide a variety of locally raised, 100% grass-fed or grain-fed beef, pork, and poultry. Their shopping experience is easy. Simply visit HoosierCreekFarmsLLC.com, fill up your cart with high-quality, locally raised meats, and choose to have it delivered in an insulated box right to your front door. Or you can pick it up in Bluffton or Huntington. You can find recipes and cooking tips by following them on Facebook and Instagram. Begin cooking with confidence. Hoosier Creek Farms, high quality, locally raised meats. HoosierCreekFarmsLLC.com.
And welcome back to the courtyard. A lot of people going to be surprised by this 14-0 first quarter score. The Knights have a golden opportunity to punch it in again. And you know, Bo, 2 turnovers forced, a scoop and score, and a pick have just been, turning points in this game. The one resulted in a Norwell touchdown, and this one set them up on the 13th. So, again, the defense making plays and made up for that Riley interception on the first drive.
Yeah, and we've talked about this against good teams. Norwell needs to capitalize on these turnovers, especially deep in New Haven territory. So I'd look for Norwell to take a shot maybe on this play, as they still can get a first down.
Of the season. Ball resting on the 6, and it's second down at about 2. Riley sends Graft in motion. He hands it off to Ringer. Ringer runs right and is pushed back. I think he might have gotten the yard, got down to the 5. This will set up third down and pretty short for Norwell.
Yeah, nevertheless, if they don't pick up this third down, I'd look for the field goal unit to come out. But
that would certainly make Coach Gerber make a decision. This is assuming they don't lose yards here. Bring up 4th and 2. It's a chip shot field goal for De Leon, who's been just perfect for the Knights so far this year. And it's almost guaranteed points. It would put Norwell up 3 scores. So I think you bring up a good point. But would Coach Gerber want more? We might not ever know the answer. Riley rolls to his right, throws to the end zone. Touchdown! Isaiah Bragi has the grab for the Knights. It's his first touchdown grab of the year, and Norwell is up 20-0.
Well, like you said, we'll never know the answer as they score there on the third down play. Make our jobs a little easier there, and great job by Norwell. That was a good play. Motion Isaiah across. Nobody on the New Haven defense picked him up as he's coming across and ended up wide open there sitting on the goal line.
Man, Norwell is in complete control right now as De Leon is on to try the PAT. That makes him 20 for 20 on extra points this year. And Norwell in full control of this football game.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I am surprised.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
New Haven, I didn't expect them to commit as many turnovers as they have this early in the game, as they probably didn't expect it as well. But you'd like to think that New Haven probably came into this game thinking that they could handle this Norwell team as they've been the past 8 years in a row. They're thinking they're going to roll in here and just kind of roll over Norwell. But Norwell's responded, and they definitely came to play tonight, and it showed on the scoreboard.
This is a Norwell team that really hasn't had a lot of respect throughout the conference, and that's pretty justifiable considering they haven't had a winning record since 2009.
Yep.
But this year things are a little different, and even after the loss at Leo, it doesn't seem to have phased this squad. They've come back with all kinds of energy. I talked to volunteer assistant Alex Howard prior to the game tonight, and he said there was probably something left to be desired in practice. It was a decent week, but he felt like there could have been something more. This team looks like it had something to get after tonight as they lead by 3 scores just over 30 seconds here into the second quarter.
There's a different type of energy in the air tonight.
There is.
For Norwell. And don't normally feel this against New Haven.
Got to say, I think this is a good representation that the culture really has changed in this program. We've talked about the culture change taking sometimes years. It has here at Norwell, from the transition from Jeff Miller to Coach Josh Gerber, and who hasn't had a ton of success in the win column. That may be starting to change. This game is far, far from over, but Norwell has looked much better than New Haven. And again, they just look like the better team so far. That, again, aided by 2 really big turnovers. But Norwell's looked solid, and another defensive stop and a score here would put Norwell far in control of this game. Again, just remember, if you get to the 35-point threshold, whether you think New Haven has a good chance, and I think they've got as good a chance as any to come back out of a deficit, you get to the 35-point threshold, and then it's basically not doable anymore with the running clock. So we're certainly far from that point. But Jakar Williams is back out and befuddled by this Norwell defense. He's been strip sacked once, and then threw an interception that set up Norwell for its 3rd touchdown of the night. The first handoff goes to Jarrell Jackson, and he is stuffed.
Yeah, and Norwell's shown that their secondary has stepped up to the test tonight, and it showed there as New Haven's trying to find something to get rolling on offense, and I don't think running up the middle on this Norwell defense is the answer, but nevertheless, you got to try it, and Norwell made a good play there.
Yeah, they just don't have an answer right now.
Nope,
I mean, New Haven just has not. They've had the one completion to Lane Woodson that went for 21, got him out to near midfield on their last drive. Other than that, that's been basically it for New Haven tonight offensively. Williams is going to throw. It's too high. It was intended for Woodson to the left side. Isaiah Breggy was added pressure there at the end, although the catch would have been made if it had been a better throw. Would not have resulted in a first down unless there was a missed tackle. And now 3rd and 12. That was a play where you feel like New Haven had to get some yardage back to make 3rd manageable.
Yeah, like I've talked, Norwell's done a good job on the other side of the ball of making 3rd down manageable, and it's showed there on the stat sheet, but New Haven's kind of put themselves in predicaments and made 3rd and long.
Bulldogs facing 3rd and 12. Williams being chased, has to throw it away, and it's intentional grounding. As there is a penalty marker back inside the 15. I don't think it could be anything else, as I think they're going to talk about whether there was a receiver.
Here's a call.
Eric Mills is our referee.
Yep.
It is intentional grounding. So that's going to push New Haven back inside the 15.
Yeah, and it's a loss of down, so make 4th down and very long. I'd look for Norwell to go after this punt.
Boy, not a lot has gone right in the conference slate so far for the Bulldogs. They dominated 35-8 by the Lions at home last week against top competition in the NE8. They have really, really struggled. So
all
that
the
penalty
way back to the 9-yard line.
Right. So they're actually going to push it back inside the 10. It's 4th and a mile, and now Jakar Williams will be punting from the goal line. As we got another call from Eric Mills, just kind of regurgitating the fact that it was intentional grounding. And Norwell, barring something crazy, should start on the plus side of the field. It's a line drive kick this time, and it's returnable. That's Leighton Bailey on the return. Bailey cuts out and gets to about the 40-yard line, a return of 7 or 8, and excellent starting field position again here for Norwell.
Yeah, and Norwell needs to take advantage of this as they've gotten the ball at the 15-yard line. I mean, they've gotten the ball on their own 20 a couple times, driven the field. So great stop by the Norwell defense, catching breaks, taking advantage of the New Haven mistakes so far. So see if they keep taking advantage of these mistakes at New Haven.
Certainly a recurring storyline that we'll revisit. This has the potential to be Norwell's first win against the Bulldogs since 2012. Riley out of the gun. He's got Jace Cheney in the slot this time. He's going to throw a deep ball left down the sideline for Graft, and it's hauled in inside the 5. Luke Graft down to the 2. It's a pitch and catch of 39 to set up 1st and goal for the Knights on the 2.
That's huge. That's huge. Norwell takes a shot on 1st down. You know what? They just keep punching New Haven. I mean, they're just hitting them with everything right now.
Man coverage on the outside. They attacked it. Riley stood in the pocket and made a strong throw. And you've got the athletic Luke Graft out there to bring in the catch, and the Knights are staring down the barrel at punching it in again.
Yeah, Luke had him beat right off the line of scrimmage, too. He was 5 yards ahead of him as he just took off with a full head of steam, and Eli threw a good ball.
Riley sends Graft in motion, hands it off to Ringer. Ringer up the gut towards the goal line. It's close. I think he's going to be about half a yard short, maybe even less than that. He's inches short, and it'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
I'd imagine just a QB sneak here for Riley, as New Haven's still in that 3 down front, even in the goal line. They have their linebackers pressed up a little bit, but that's not the same as a big D lineman.
And Norwell's been pretty dominant in the trenches already tonight. The run game has been quite successful, although all the offense has been clicking for the Knights, save for that first drive pick from Riley.
Yeah, I'd look for Eli, just go left side into the end zone here.
Bo Morgan
there it is
in motion. Riley keeps it. Riley is in for a Norwell touchdown. The Knights are all over New Haven, 27-0.
And I tell you what, talk about shocking the area. This game, so far, the way it's panning out is shocking the area, I guarantee
absolutely. You got to remember, this is we're barely 15 minutes into the game, and the Knights have a 4-score lead on a New Haven team that was supposed to be more athletic and supposed to be better. It is a team that was supposed to be, a pretty dominant force, maybe the best team Norwell's faced so far this year. But the Knights have just handled it so well to this point. And again, we keep reiterating this. There's the first missed PAT of the season from De Leon. Kind of looked like a shank, as it did not make it above the crossbar. And so Norwell will remain up 27-0. But we kind of return to that point, and the same thing happens. You look at it and you go, man, Norwell is 1 score away from potentially getting the running clock. That's amazing to me. This is we thought this could be a game that comes down to the last possession, game that's right down to the wire, possibly low scoring considering Norwell's defensive ability. But the offense has been the one that's exploded. Now a lot of that's been aided by the defense. 2 of the touchdowns, one was scored by the defense, the other one set them up inside the 20. But again, it's been a combination of Norwell's defense creating turnovers. We added that as a key in our pregame tonight. That in combination with Norwell's what has become an explosive offense the last couple weeks has put Norwell in front 27-0.
Yeah, and like I said before the game, I was excited to see this Norwell offense, and they've impressed me so far. I mean, I don't know what else they could do differently. I mean, they're doing everything right. They're firing on all cylinders, and they're taking advantage of these New Haven mistakes, and that's what you do against good teams. That's what makes you a good football team. You take advantage of the other team's mistakes. That's what they've done all night, and I look for them to continue to do so as they have all the momentum right now.
No doubt about it. Josh Scott is back on to kick this one away. That's a pretty good kick this time, back inside the 10. It is returnable, though. And a decent return of about 20 yards out to the 26. It was Carpenter on the return. He averages 19 on the season. It's actually his longest return of the season. And so, again, just one drive where New Haven has had good starting field position. This one is just slightly above average, and Norwell has been stout defensively.
Yeah, the D linemen right now are having so much fun. You can tell they're getting free reign to blitz the quarterback. I mean, obviously you have responsibilities, you have assignments as a D lineman, but you have a little less assignments when you're facing a passing team and you're just told to bull rush and get to the quarterback, and that's fun as a D lineman, and you can tell they're having a lot of fun right now.
Gorgeous night here in Ossian, 57 degrees, clear, exactly what you want in a high school football game. That's a decent first down run for Jarrell Jackson, who, again, is the leading ball carrier for this Bulldog squad, but actually Jakar Williams has about split time with him in the run department. It's a guy that pretty much does it all for New Haven, and he's been mitigated pretty well here through this first 15-minute period. 2nd and 7 as New Haven picks up 3 on first down.
This is interesting. They're not as spread out in a different formation, trying something different.
Well, I like it. I think you've got to do something different. That's Quantry Sanders, who gets to the right side, tries to get to the edge, but again, shoved out of bounds after a gain of just a couple. That's the other big thing that we talked about, was Norwell has to be able to limit New Haven's big play ability, and they certainly have to this point.
Well, yeah, and it's making New Haven respect that, and the fact that they've changed their offense around a little bit, gotten in a different formation. But you know what shocks me kind of is they're in a more run-heavy formation right now. I don't look for them to pass many times out of this formation, and they know the strength of Norwell defense is run.
Yeah,
defense.
Right, exactly. You would think that they'd be tested. That's a incomplete pass. Pressure right up the middle by Isaiah Bragi right off the snap. And again, New Haven goes 3 and out as Williams was trying to get it to Dre Wright, who only has 1 catch on the season. They tried to, they're trying to give Norwell some different looks, mix things up. The Knights have still not been caught off guard.
Yeah, that play was made right there by Isaiah Bragi. He had his slot wide open there in the flat, and Bragi forced an errant pass, and it showed there. And great stop again by Norwell defense.
So Williams will boot it away. It's a sidewinding kick, and it's dropped. The ball's loose. It is recovered by Norwell. So the Knights have had some issues on special teams in the punt return department, as that's the second dropped ball on a punt. I think that was Aiden Kuntz who returned that one, as Norwell's given a couple different guys some opportunities. We've seen Bragi back there. We saw Bailey get a return.
Well, we saw Aiden return a couple good punt returns. I remember at least one last week against Belmont. So I expected to see him more utilized as a playmaker, but nevertheless, Norwell, good field position here.
Yeah, they start on the 39. Norwell's going to call a timeout here. I think.
New Haven.
He signaled towards Norwell. It was towards. Okay. That's what I was going to say. It was the line judge on that side. So Bulldogs are out of sorts everywhere. We'll take a break. Norwell up 27-0 here early in the second quarter on the Voice Sports Network.
American Mortgage Service Company, located at 1169 North Main Street in Bluffton. We specialize in helping individuals realize their dream of homeownership by providing a top-notch, best mortgage experience. We offer a wide variety of loan programs and the most current rates available. Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 260-353-3300 or apply online at bluffton.americanmortgage.com. That's 260-353-3300.
American Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, Indiana State 11063, NMLS 8246.
Knights up big here. Not even halfway through the second quarter on the Bulldogs. I will say that the majority of Fort Wayne prognosticators favored Norwell by a low margin in this game. I don't think anybody saw a 27-0 game 16 minutes in. And that's where we're at. Norwell starts on the 39. The Knights have had very good field position so far throughout the contest after their first drive. And so Riley will start under center. Bragi in motion. Riley to pass. Eli, good protection, throws right. Bragi's open in space near the midfield, cuts back to the middle, has a first down. A pitch and catch of 15 from Riley to Bragi, and the Knights are in Bulldog territory again.
Eli did a good job there, scanning the field, looking for a receiver downfield and didn't see anybody. Found Isaiah in the flat, and Isaiah ran that play multiple times. It worked last week against Belmont. Remember running against Heritage. Leo, it even worked, so that's a good play there for Norwell.
Norwell is in New Haven territory again. They've just been so solid offensively as Ringer gets a run to the left. Actually, good pursuit that time for the Bulldogs.
Max Ringer, the ball carrier.
Couple guys in on the tackle as New Haven has used a lot of different guys defensively already. They just can't find an answer to this Norwell offense.
I looked at the game clock and I'm still shocked. There's 7 minutes left still in the second quarter.
Well, yeah. This game has moved far slower than any game we've seen so far, even with the penalty-ridden games at Leo and Belmont. This was even been one-sided. But Norwell, there's just been a lot more scoring plays, a lot of different kind of plays where the clock runs out. Brady is found again in space. Boy, he's got all kinds of room to run across the 25 to the 23. That one goes for 18 for the Knights, and they move the chains again. Brady's been a favorite target of Riley so far here tonight, and Norwell's inside the New Haven 25.
There's that same play again. Isaiah Brady just sitting in the flat 5 or 10 yards down the
wide
field.
Open.
Well, I mean wide open. There's not a New Haven defender 10 yards within his area and room to run after the catch. Good job by Isaiah Brady there.
Well, the Knights are in domination mode right now. Now the question becomes, if they do punch it in, would they go for 2? That was probably a false start. Oh, actually, yeah, they drew encroachment.
Yep. Great job going on 2 for Norwell, as they saw New Haven biting at the bit there to get. Looked like the middle linebacker jumped, and I'm not sure if he was the one that crossed. I know the nose tackle there jumped across as well. But
yeah, Raymond Britt, the guilty party there, I believe.
Not only that, they did a good job of snapping it while they were in the neutral zone as well. That's just an overall great job by Norwell.
This is such a talented and such an experienced group of guys defensively for the Bulldogs. Ringer squirts through a hole, gets inside the 10, wrapped down inside the 5. Max Ringer, another offensive explosion. A pickup of 17, and Norwell moves it again.
It's hard for me to believe that Norwell is playing New Haven right now. I mean,
it feels a lot like, and granted, they had their mistakes in weeks 1 and 2 against Jay County and Heritage, but it feels like that type of game. There's so much more on the line in this contest.
Yep.
First and goal for the Knights. And what would you do, Bo? Let's say they get it in here. You want to go for 2?
Oh, I would go for 2. Essentially what he had to lose.
Right. Ringer is taken down after a gain of a couple.
Max Ringer on the carry.
Yeah, I'd definitely go for 2, going back to what you said. I mean, you get to 35, and there's still 5 minutes left in the first half. You get to 35 with 5 minutes left in the first half, and you're rolling. So you don't get it.
Right.
I mean,
it's 33 to nothing.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like you're
and
making
again,
it any easier.
You can't really ever say anything's put away. But if you get to the running clock, it's basically over. I mean, things would have to go completely wrong as Riley makes a cut outside, falls just short of the goal line. Boy, that was a tough spot. Looked like he fell into the end zone. His knee was down just shy, apparently. And this will bring up 3rd down and inches.
Kind of a similar situation. I'd look for.
Down to 10 on the play clock as they now hustle to the line of scrimmage. Bo needs to get set as they take their time, but now plenty of time. Riley sneaks it. Yep. Riley's in. Well, no signal yet. He was clearly
from
in.
Up here, he's in.
Oh, he was clearly in. I mean, this has to be a touchdown, right?
Has to be.
Well, they're going to mark him short.
Wow.
I can't believe it.
Well, from what I was seeing on the camera, he was in the end zone.
Boy, that looked like he was in easy.
Wow.
All right, well, now it's 4th and goal. This could be a turning point. If the Bulldogs are able to hold stout here and force a turnover, as the Norwell crowd is giving some encouragement here, they kind of come alive down here. This limited capacity crowd making some noise. I'd go back to the same play, Bo.
Yeah, I would too, except I'd try to go maybe right side.
Yep. They do sneak it. Riley's in untouched. The Knights, it took 4 times, but they punch it in, and it's 33-0 Knights.
A little different type of QB sneak there. Just ran it to the left side, but that works. New Haven stacked the box, put them in the middle. Norwell took advantage of that. Great drive by Norwell.
Right.
I mean, they started with pretty good field position, but they didn't start on their side of the field like they did on the last touchdown drive, and
they're going.
We called it here. They're going for 2.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, everybody knows at this point.
Yep.
So the Knights are going to try to go for 2 here. This would ensure a running clock in the second half. Riley will be in the shotgun here. He splits 3 receivers, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. Riley on a cross, incomplete. And the crossing route falls incomplete. So the Knights are not able to get to that running clock mark. And remember, New Haven does get the ball to start the second half, but it's 33-0 Knights. And there's just not a whole lot to complain about right now for Norwell.
No, and I'm really not going to have anything to complain about unless Norwell gives up a silly big play here, but I don't see them doing that. I mean, they're really
haven't shown signs of doing it to this point.
No, not at all. Really disciplined defense, and it's showed how well they're coached by defensive coordinator Matt Taylor. As they definitely know their strengths of defense. They've backed off that, but really, I mean, we've known the defense is good, but what's really impressed me tonight is the offense.
Another shout-out we want to give tonight. Tim Wilson is listening to the broadcast, has given us nothing but compliments. Certainly appreciate him watching and listening. We certainly thank all our sponsors for making this broadcast possible and free of charge. I want to remind a lot of folks that there's over 40 high schools right now that are charging to watch broadcasts. And that's something that here at The Voice we have never been about. We've always been about community involvement, getting sponsors, and things like that, providing a free service to you. So if you run into any of our sponsors, first of all, please use their business. And if you do run into them in town, please tell them how thankful you are to watch this kind of football game and this broadcast service throughout this COVID era and any time else. We've been around for over 10 years now. Last year was our 10-year anniversary. And we're happy to be bringing you Friday night football action every single night. The kickoff goes to the 10. It's returned, and an ankle tackle not able to be made, but then finally wrapped up. Oh, boy, twisted around. That did not look pretty. Jalen Carpenter was kind of twisted in a funky direction as he crossed the 20-yard line.
The hustle right there by Isaiah Breggy is a big reason Norwell is up this big in this game.
Yep.
He missed that ankle tackle, came back, finished him off from another teammate. That's great hustle. You couldn't ask for better.
Yep, Morgan got him around the bottom of the legs. Brady came in and finished him off after missing a tackle, and that speaks volumes about where this team is at right now and how this first half has gone. Bulldogs started the 22. We've rehashed it again and again, but New Haven just hasn't had good field position other than that first drive, which they were obviously unable to convert into points. They have not been able to reach the end zone at this point tonight. And the sands of time running out here on the second quarter. Williams will throw a lob screen pass, and they can't complete that. Well, that's as routine as they come, and Williams is all out of sync as he was looking to get it to his tailback, Terrell Jackson.
Now, I know there's no pressure there on that play, but you know Williams has in the back of his mind how much pressure this Norwell defense has had on him. And
he's uncomfortable.
And we can tell he is very uncomfortable and it's taken a toll on him so far in this first half. But I wouldn't put it past this New Haven offense. We know they're a big play offense. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Norwell definitely cannot be lackadaisical on any play New Haven runs as they open it back up into the spread. A little different from what they tried their last drive.
2nd and 10. Williams to throw again. Williams facing pressure. Bolin chasing him. Williams now tucks it and runs. Gets a block from Jackson. He is flattened. Actually bowled over the defender, but the Knights are able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. After all that, no gain for New Haven. Now you wonder if you want to take a timeout, and there it is. Josh Gerber takes a timeout, wants to try to get another score in before the half. He had all 3 timeouts. He's down to 2 now, but just under 3 minutes. And the way this Norwell offense has been striking with the big plays, another score is certainly plausible here at the end of this second quarter.
That's right. This is not something I would think to see this Norwell team do is be the aggressor up 33-0. But you know what, Coach Josh Gerber knows. I mean, he knows you get to 35-0, it's a running clock. He knows New Haven's out of this ball game.
Yeah, that's just a simple fact. I mean, it is.
That's right. And he knows New Haven gets the ball after half, and I mean, why not try to get it? You have 2 minutes, 50 seconds left still on the clock. I mean, why not try to get the ball back? Long third down for New Haven. They haven't completed a third down yet, have they?
No.
Maybe one.
And I tell you, and Norwell has only given up 6 for 32 coming into the game. That's 19% defensively on third downs. Bo, this has a chance to be a real program turning point for Norwell. Yep. The last time I can remember a game like this where Norwell stomped on a team that was favored coming in, or a very solid team, an athletic team, was East Noble back in 2013 when they lost their first 5 games. Norwell went on to finish 6-7 that year. And there's just nothing there. And now Josh Gerber's going to use his second timeout. I mean, New Haven has just not done anything against this Norwell defense. If you were unconvinced that the Norwell defense was the real deal, you have to be convinced now.
That's right. And if you weren't convinced after Leo week, I mean, you give up one defensive score to a stout Leo offense.
Yeah.
If you weren't convinced after
Very
that,
efficient.
you're definitely you got to be convinced after
It's
tonight's
amazing
performance, and it's just yeah.
At this point, statistically, this is going to be if Norwell's able to complete the shutout tonight. Obviously, a long way to go to get to that point.
Yep.
They will likely at least be in contention to lead the state in scoring defensive average. But remember, 2 of those 3 touchdowns have been, one was a pick 6 and the other one was a fumble recovered that went for a touchdown.
That's right.
So again, Norwell has just not the one, they've given up one long methodical drive that was aided by a couple penalties at Leo. Really, if you clean up the penalties, there's a chance that Norwell hasn't given up a touchdown all year defensively.
That's right, and the only drive they gave up last week against Belmont was a penalty-filled drive that marched them down the field. They ended up stopping them on the 14-yard line and give up no points to Belmont.
Belmont had 4 first downs last week. 3 of those were aided by a Norwell penalty. The only one they got was on 4th and short. Last year, New Haven accumulated over 400 yards of offense against the Knights.
And they're
totally different story. They almost got a punt block as Jakar Williams gets a nice New Haven bounce on the punt.
I tell you what, they were about 1 foot away. Colt Ringenberger there just about 1 foot away from just getting a finger on that ball and totally changing what that play's outcome was. But nevertheless, nice punt there by New Haven, by Williams, and see what Norwell can do with 2 minutes 37 seconds, one timeout, I believe.
Yep.
So
the Knights take over on their own 37 after a 42-yard punt from Jakar Williams, his best effort of the night. But good field position and a timeout. And again, even a field goal will get the job done and get him to the 35-point threshold. So that's important to note. Riley keeps it. A delayed keep. Spins out of a couple tackles, but they're going to get him for a hold. That was going to be good enough for first down yardage. This one is coming back.
Yep. A lot of us saw it up here in the press boxes. Heard a couple guys say there's going to be a hold, and it's not the worst thing though. I mean, you still first and a while to go, but you get a good first down play, good second down play, and keep this drive going.
It'll be 1st and 17. Norwell, I believe that's Norwell's first penalty here late in this first half. Can't recall a different one.
I'm trying to think. I'm not sure I can either.
Well, in any case, we know that they've certainly cleaned up on that.
Maybe
now,
1 or 2. So.
Right. Well, the silly penalties, we had the face mask penalties plague Norwell last week, and that's kind of something we saw and we noted.
Yep.
And that has changed so far tonight. Riley, a relatively high snap, checks it down, incomplete. It was intended for Isaiah Breggy. They ran that play earlier in this first half. It was successful, went for a first down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Yeah, I'd look for – I'm not sure what I'd look for Norwell to do here. I'd maybe just run the ball. I mean, you want to be aggressive. You want to try to get the clock to that running clock, but you also don't want to give up anything silly. And you don't want to make a mistake and kind of just shoot yourself in the foot here. You're up 33-0, so I look for maybe to just run the ball here. And
yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is give up a score before you go to the half.
Yeah.
At worst, you want to be up 33-0.
Yeah.
They jump the snap count. It's a trick play. That's aired out. It's going to be too deep for Luke Graft, although he had to fight through some contact. Boy, it's a heck of an arm shown by Isaiah Breggy.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you know what, that's better than what could have happened. Graft was in triple coverage there, and you either give it to Graft or you overthrow him. And
there you go. And Breggy was pressured off the outside. He had to hurry.
So you either throw that out of bounds or you overthrow him and just try to let your receiver run under that. And I mean, try something, but like I said, I'd look for him to maybe just run the ball here, and not sure.
3rd and 17 here. Just over 2 minutes, so the Knights haven't taken any time off the clock. New Haven theoretically could still get a score. Riley doesn't have anywhere to throw it, is patient, and now throws it deep left towards the sideline for Luke Graff, but it's out of bounds and incomplete. So New Haven does their job and is able to hold stout defensively, and now Norwell will have to punt it back, and New Haven's got plenty of time to get a chance at a score here.
We would have liked to see Norwell score there, but to get that running clock, but nothing hurt, really.
No.
I mean, we know the defense has been holding strong, so look for Riley to get a good punt here and
Eli
continue the defensive performance they're having.
Averaging 36 on the season. again, has not had to punt a lot. This will be his second punt of the night. They've got to get the play off. Now they finally, oh boy, high snap. Could have been disaster. It's a low line drive punt that bounces high across the 40. Great Norwell bounce. And this will go down as a 40-yarder from Riley as he flips the field and moves it to the New Haven 30. And with 1:57 left in this first half, New Haven will try to drive and get a score. Norwell does have a timeout left, so if New Haven throws a couple incomplete passes, theoretically they could still get the ball back again.
Yeah, New Haven still has 2 timeouts, I think, too, as well.
That's correct, by my count.
Yep, so still 2-minute drill here for the New Haven offense.
Yep. This is something that New Haven has historically been pretty good at.
Yeah, yep.
So they just haven't been able to have any success to this point against this really good Norwell defense. Derek Decker, Christian Bohada bringing the action from the courtyard here in Ossian, and a shocking 33-0 Norwell lead here as we approach halftime. And again, New Haven moves early. They have been undisciplined.
Well, I think it's because
penalties have killed them.
I think that's illegal motion there because you got 2 guys in motion. You had the running back motion to his position, and then you have another guy motion to his position, maybe moving at the same time. Can't have that happen there.
Now, it doesn't eat any time.
No.
But it certainly doesn't help New Haven in a game where they've really struggled to move the chains. Williams rolls left. A jump pass. I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish there. That could have been really bad.
Yeah.
If Colbert's able to get his hands on that, it's an easy 6.
I tell you what, if that ball's thrown high enough for the intended receiver, Colbert's taking that for 6. So that's really New Haven caught a break for throwing that at his feet.
They just have not had a lot of success at all. And again, doesn't really eat much of the clock. It's his senior night here at Norwell. Of course, amended. We're inside of 2 minutes left in this first half.
Still just under 2 minutes. No big plays here for Norwell.
Williams flushed. Oh, that's got to be a hold.
Oh,
that's a hold. He's pinning him down. That's as clear as it gets right there. I mean, I don't know.
White hat was looking right at him, too. I'm not sure.
Connor Canyon just pinned Dryban to the ground, so I don't understand that. But it is what it is. He rounds out of bounds, so it brings up 3rd down and 7. Here's what's important about that is the fact that now, no matter what happens, if New Haven doesn't get a first down, the Knights can call a timeout.
You kind of expect them to pass it, so if it's an incomplete pass
it
and
might
the
not
clock
matter.
stops, you don't even have to use that timeout.
Right.
So.
Williams, screen pass. It's caught. That is not going to go for first down yardage. I can tell you right now, Bo Morgan wrapped him up behind the line of scrimmage, and Coach Gerber uses his final timeout.
Well, Norwell gets another shot.
Mylan Graham was the receiver who made his first catch of the night, but Norwell hangs tough defensively again.
Yeah, it's no surprise to me at this point. I mean, that's what they've done all night. I look for them to continue to do that. New Haven's trying different things. I mean, they're throwing screen passes, trying to go down the field. There's just nothing there.
So 97 seconds remain in this first half. We hope that you'll stick around for the Ossian State Bank halftime show. And we'll get you updated on some of the other scores and stats throughout the rest of the Northeast Indiana area. How about that? Interesting score coming out from Leo tonight already in that first half. If you watch the Norwell game, you won't be surprised by the score and what Leo has done to be able to hold East Noble's offense in check. That's how you ride a professional tease. 97 seconds left in this first half as New Haven punts it away again. Norwell has a couple returners back on their own 30-yard line. Williams has been mildly consistent tonight. This is a line drive kick, but it's going to be well returnable. I think that's Aiden Kuntz who has the return. Cuts outside towards the sideline and is across the 40 with just inside a minute and a half left. And again, I want to reiterate, Norwell does not have to have a touchdown here. They just have to get into field goal range and give De Leon a chance. Now, De Leon did miss his last PAT, but it's his first miss of the year, and that makes him 20 for 21. That's darn good for a high school kid.
Well, especially a freshman.
No kidding.
So
he did hit a 35-yarder into the stiff breeze at Belmont last week, so he's got plenty of leg, and that was on grass, I might add.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to kick on of turf. So, yeah, I mean, no timeouts for Norwell, as is of note. So, clock will run if they get tackled in bounds.
Yep, Knights are out. Riley from the gun, where he'll be this entire drive. Escapes right and turns the corner, gets back in the middle, but it's going to cost the Knights some time.
Yeah, they'll have to hustle.
Riley picks up 9 on first down, actually 8. And Norwell's well set up here. New Haven having some trouble getting back on side. Pete Poiry was late, and he's gassed. I can tell you that right now. He's stumbling back to the line of scrimmage. Riley takes the snap with just over a minute left. Riley throws a deep ball. It's a wobbler towards Morgan, and it's incomplete. That could have gone worse, as that was not a well-thrown ball from Riley.
No, kind of underthrown. Good job by Bo there, just kind of becoming a defender and making sure that ball was not intercepted. Gives Norwell another chance. They do need to get a first down here, though. They're at about 3rd and 2, a little under a minute left. I'd look for a quick out route, maybe hit Isaiah on that, or Isaiah Breggy there on that little flat 5 or 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, they've had lots of success with that.
Yeah.
And all you really need to do here is move it. Actually, you could run it if you wanted. You only need 2. If you're certain you're going to get a first down, it'll stop the clock for a moment. Riley will throw. Eli, another deep ball. It's another wobbler towards Graft in the middle of the field. Incomplete. Well defended that time by the corner, Cameron Mason. And it's 4th and 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that decision by Eli.
Well, what do you think? You want to go for it? Yeah, they're going to punt.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of possessions in this first half. We said that was going to be something that was going to be different tonight, but, man, there's been a ton of possessions. And you might kind of see a similar situation where if Riley sees that it's there.
That's what I was just about to mention. I saw the coaches kind of saying something to him.
So it's worth noting Norwell has not run a fake this year.
Well, it might even be a designed fake. So
could be.
This would not be a bad play call here.
The Bulldogs are completely overloaded to the right side. Oh, that's a penalty on the Knights. Are you serious? I can't believe nobody caught it. That ball,
and it's down at the 1.
It's pushed down at the 1. How did they not catch that? Joel Rinkenberger was 10 yards in front of the line of scrimmage before that snap, and so it pins New Haven at the 1. Hey, a safety would actually do the trick here. So it is – I can't believe that miss.
Wow.
That's as egregious as it gets. He was late coming on because he wasn't in the huddle and then was standing on the 50-yard line when they snapped that ball in front of the 50. That's amazing. He's just going to try to sneak it out.
Yeah.
Williams moving the pile. Well, he's pushed back. Forward progress will put him at the 2. Norwell doesn't have any timeouts, and so that's all they had to do.
I don't expect New Haven to run another play.
There's no chance I would run another play. No chance. So, assuming what we think will happen, the Bulldogs will let this run to half, and the Norwell Knights will take a 33-point lead to the locker room. Wow.
Yeah, you better believe these Norwell coaches are happiest they've probably been all season, but they know the game's not over. I mean, they know that New Haven's a quick strike offense, but they also know the defense they have, and Norwell fired up. They know the half they just played is the best half they've played all season. I'm just going to say that right now.
What a half of football. The Knights leading New Haven. The scoreboard's right. Norwell is up 33-0 on the Bulldogs. We'll take a break and return with the Ossian State Bank halftime show after this. This is Norwell football on WellsCountyVoice.com, part of the Voice Sports Network.
We're here at Craigville Appliance. We just wanted to say to all the fall athletes, good luck on this season. Be safe, be strong, compete to the highest level. Always practice good sportsmanship. If moms and dads, I know it's time, washer and dryer season, we'll take care of you here at Craigville Appliance. We can deliver it, install it, no big deal here at Craigville Appliance. Good luck, have a great season, compete to the highest level.
Serving Bluffton and all of Wells County, Bluffton Rent-Co offers the biggest, cleanest, and most reliable selection of equipment around. They offer small and large equipment like lifts and skid loaders, to lawn and landscaping tools, along with home improvement and construction rental equipment. Bluffton Rent-Co can handle all of your rental needs, including party rentals. Visit BlufftonRentCo.com to view their large selection of rental items, located at 975 North Main Street in Bluffton. Serving Ossian since 1938, Ossian Hardware is your best choice for hardware, paint, lawn and garden rental, and so much more. Stop in today for all of your project needs and be rewarded for making your purchases at Ossian Hardware with their Best Rewards program. Stop in for more information. Knowledgeable, friendly service is what you'll get at Ossian Hardware. Stay connected at OssianHardware.com or on Facebook.
Is filled with fabulous golf courses that offer a variety of experiences and are as diverse and distinct as the regions they're in. And there is one right here in your backyard that you shouldn't miss. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton. You deserve a little time on the greens, so book your tee time, brush off your spikes, and get ready to play. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton, just east of the Stone Quarry.
Head on out to Green Valley to hit some balls on their driving range or putting green. Call 824-4510 to reserve your tee time. Green Valley, where your friends play.
Chiropractic, we offer individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages, from infants to elderly, and even during pregnancy. Have you ever experienced a workplace, sports, or auto accident, or just keep suffering from chronic pain? Corrective Chiropractic can help. Knee, neck, shoulder, or back pain, headaches, migraines, allergies, muscular tension? Corrective Chiropractic can help.
I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic, serving Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding area to help you feel and function better. Schedule your appointment today at 260-353-1400 and let Corrective Chiropractic help you along your journey to health and wellness. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza, Bluffton, Indiana.
Nick Huffman, a Bluffton High School graduate, is ready to help you buy, sell, or build your dream home. If you're ready to start a new chapter in your life, now's the time. With historic low interest rates, houses are moving at lightning speed. Whether you need single-family, multifamily, agricultural, commercial, property management, mixed use, or land development, give Nick a call or text at 827-8255 or send him a message on Facebook at Real Estate by Nick Huffman. Nick is located at the Stephan Group at 107 West Market Street in Bluffton. His number again is 827-8255.
Roofing Incorporated prides themselves on developing a long-term relationship with their customers, listening to their needs and suggesting the proper course of action, be it preventative maintenance, repair, or replacement. Bluffton Roofing and owner James Worth are GAF certified and are certified weather stopper roofing contractors. Bluffton Roofing is fully insured, protecting you and your home. Call 824-3564 or 307-6313. Bluffton Roofing Incorporated. Quality first home improvements.
Kathy Peterson of the Stephan Group is part of a select group of real estate and auction professionals that are changing the game of how real estate and auction transactions are handled. With a strong background in customer service, Kathy believes helping people is the most precious gift she can give and is committed to being a partner with her clients through the entire transaction. Contact Kathy Peterson at the Stephan Group at 824-6353.
Your friends and family, and thanks for choosing the Voice Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Morrison, President and CEO of Ossian State Bank. Welcome to this glimpse of our company.
Banking can be a difficult process, and without the right person to guide you, it can be long and tedious, also stressful. Ossian State Bank has been offering commercial and retail banking services to businesses and consumers in and around Wells County for over 107 years. We are the only locally owned and headquartered community bank in our county since 1912. Our team of bankers is professional, enthusiastic, and dedicated to helping you through every step of your journey. We continually strive to build long-lasting relationships with our customers while providing smart financial solutions that both improve and simplify your life. Come and experience for yourself today what a true community bank can help do for you.
It's a local thing.
and welcome back to the Ossian State Bank Halftime Show. Ossian State Bank is your local source for banking for over a century. Norwell leading New Haven 33-0 on the Steffen Group scoreboard. Let's get you updated on a couple of the other scores throughout the area. Leo on top of East Noble in a pivotal Northeast 8 game, 10-0. That game late in the first half. Eastside leading Garrett 7-0. Adams Central leading Heritage 15-0. It is Northside up on Lures 26-21. And Snyder is trailing Homestead 26-0. And I think that's something that not a whole lot of people, it's something that people might not have been seeing coming. Southside leading Wayne 2-0 late in the first half. Round out some of the scores in the SAC. Let's wrap up that first half for Norwell. A 33-0 lead. They just missed the mark. They had a couple drives at the end where they had a chance to get to that 35-point threshold to get a running clock. Now, if they get to that mark anytime in the second half, clock will run for the rest of the half. Regardless if they get to that point or not, New Haven has shown no signs of punching the football into the end zone. They haven't even sniffed a score tonight.
No, I don't remember them on the Norwell side of the field, maybe just because of good field position. But, I mean, well, maybe one or two first downs for this New Haven offense, and that's right. You're limiting a New Haven offense that is very good. I mean, they're loaded with athletes, and they've given them no options to really do anything. New Haven's tried everything. They tried pounding the ball up the middle, try running outside, try spreading it out, throwing down the field. Secondary stood tall.
Well,
standing the test.
It's an offense that averages 318 yards a game, and I can't imagine they're real close to 100 here in that first half. Of course, we don't have official stats, but off the eyeball test, it certainly seems the biggest play of the half was that 21-yard pitch and catch to Lane Woodson, who is Jakar Williams' favorite receiver. This Williams kid is perhaps the best skill player in the Northeast 8. Threw for over 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns a season ago and has been stymied by this Norwell front three.
Well, like I mentioned earlier in the second quarter, Norwell's been applying the pressure. They've definitely gotten Williams' head, and he knows that he's not going to have much time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So as soon as he drops back, he's kind of expecting someone to be on him, and it showed in some errant throws that he's made. And I mean, we keep talking about this Norwell defense, but what about this Norwell offense?
Yeah.
I mean, it showed against Leo that they still had some work to do. The Norwell offense got shut out at Leo, but then you come in against New Haven, who has just as many athletes, maybe more as Leo did. They're stout. They may not be as disciplined on defense, but hey, it's a good defense. And Norwell's offense has definitely showed that they're up to the test and taking advantage of the New Haven mistakes. And it's really impressed me tonight.
It's a 33-0 Norwell lead over New Haven. Let's take a break and hear from some more of our sponsors. We'll return with the balance of our Ossian State Bank halftime show after these words on WellsCountyVoice.com.
American Mortgage Service Company, located at 1169 North Main Street in Bluffton. We specialize in helping individuals realize their dream of homeownership by providing a top-notch, best mortgage experience. We offer a wide variety of loan programs and the most current rates available. Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 260-353-3300 or apply online at bluffton.americanmortgage.com. That's 260-353-3300.
This is not an offer for the extension of credit or a commitment to lend. American Mortgage, NMLS ID 8246. Angie Top, NMLS ID 478736. Jessica Best, NMLS ID 613932. American Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Do you or a loved one need extra help managing your finances or making sure monthly bills are getting paid correctly and on time? Are you concerned that you or a senior parent may inadvertently provide sensitive financial information to scammers and fraudsters? Then contact Senior Money Life today at 260-296-0437 to get the help you need to stay safe and enjoy life more. Senior Money Life, located in Bluffton, Indiana, is here to help make life easy, providing you with a wide range of services including including banking assistance, bill pay, budgeting assistance, financial monitoring, and insurance advocacy. Contact Preston Carr, Daily Money Manager at 260-296-0437 to learn more, or visit their website, seniormoneylife.com. Senior Money Life is a division of Christian Care Retirement Community. Senior Money Life is not a financial institution or a trust company.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located, across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, struts, front-end alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Carrie Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Carrie Jennis at Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
I'm David Morrison, President and CEO of Ossian State Bank. Welcome to this glimpse of our company.
Banking can be a difficult process, and without the right person to guide you, it can be long and tedious, also stressful. Ossian State Bank has been offering commercial and retail banking services to businesses and consumers in and around Wells County for over 107 years. We are the only locally owned and headquartered community bank in our county since 1912. Our team of bankers is professional, enthusiastic, and dedicated to helping you through every step of your journey. We continually strive to build long-lasting relationships with our customers while providing smart financial solutions that both improve and simplify your life. Come and experience for yourself today what a true community bank can help do for you.
It's a local thing.
Serving Bluffton and all of Wells County, Bluffton Rentco offers the biggest, cleanest, and most reliable selection of equipment around. They offer small and large equipment like lifts and skid loaders, to lawn and landscaping tools, along with home improvement and construction rental equipment. Bluffton Rentco can handle all of your rental needs, including party rentals. Visit BlufftonRentco.com to view their large selection of rental items, located at 975 North Main Street in Bluffton. Serving Ossian since 1938, Ossian Hardware is your best choice for hardware, paint, lawn and garden rental, and so much more. Stop in today for all of your project needs and be rewarded for making your purchases at Ossian Hardware with their Best Rewards program. Stop in for more information. Knowledgeable, friendly service is what you'll get at Ossian Hardware. Stay connected at OssianHardware.com or on Facebook.
Did you sprain your ankle playing with your kids last night? Have you had a nagging pain while training for an upcoming race? Or do you have an upcoming surgery? Indiana Physical Therapy understands how important and valuable your time is to you. At Indiana Physical Therapy, we can schedule you within 24 hours at any of our 19 convenient clinics. IPT has been a trusted part of your community for over 32 years. With trusted results, you can count on Indiana Physical Therapy to get you better faster. You don't need a referral from your doctor, and all insurances are accepted, including Anthem. IPT is your choice for physical therapy. So what are you waiting for? Call Indiana Physical Therapy right now at 260-209-2464 to schedule an appointment, or go online to indianapt.com. Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Farms, an online meat market, has a heart for people and a focus to provide a variety of locally raised, 100% grass-fed or grain-fed beef, pork, and poultry. Their shopping experience is easy. Simply visit HoosierCreekFarmsLLC.com, fill up your cart with high-quality, locally raised meats, and choose to have it delivered in an insulated box right to your front door. Or you can pick it up in Bluffton or Huntington. You can find recipes and cooking tips by following them on Facebook and Instagram. Begin cooking with confidence. Hoosier Creek Farms, high quality, locally raised meats. HoosierCreekFarmsLLC.com.
At Corrective Chiropractic, we offer individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages, from infants to elderly, and even during pregnancy. Have you ever experienced a workplace, sports, or auto accident, or just keep suffering from chronic pain? Corrective Chiropractic can help. Knee, neck, shoulder, or back pain, headaches, migraines, allergies, muscular tension? Corrective Chiropractic can help.
I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic, serving Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding area to help you feel and function better. Schedule your appointment today at 260-353-1400 and let Corrective Chiropractic help you along your journey to health and wellness. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza, Bluffton, Indiana.
All right, back here at the courtyard, Norwell is on top of New Haven 33-0. We kind of recapped that first half, and it was a whole lot of fun for Norwell. And let's get you updated again on some of the area scores. That one we're really watching closely is Leo and East Noble. Leo is up 10-0 right now at home, and it's a bit of a surprising score. Thought, again, East Noble is still the favorite in this conference until somebody says otherwise.
Yep.
And so that could be changing here tonight.
Yep,
I mean,
Leo's trying to say otherwise. So
a lot of other things to keep an eye on as we work through tonight. We've had all kinds of fun down here tonight.
Doorman tonight in the press box.
Well, that's what happens when you're on this side. But in all seriousness, the fact that Athletic Director Kelby Waybright has been so cooperative and supportive of what we've been doing here. Again, Scott and Dale Menser for allowing this broadcast to happen. We're just the guys that you hear on Friday night, but there's so many other people that actually make this broadcast happen. In addition to all of our tremendous sponsors and supporters as well. So, Bo, looking to the second half, as a Norwell team who doesn't have basically any experience with this kind of a lead against a quality opponent. How do you handle that coming out of the locker room? Obviously, Norwell is actually a couple minutes later than New Haven coming out of the locker room, which I think is interesting in its own right. I think everybody's knocking on the door. But that's the reality here, is the fact that these guys don't have a lot of experience with a big lead against a good team. We know that we've seen, if you're tuning in here, you would say, well, so what? It's just like last week and weeks 1 and 2, they're playing a bad team, and Norwell's better than that team. That's pretty simple. It's a totally different story here tonight.
Yep, it is. I mean, New Haven, as we talked, their explosive offense, Norwell's just kind of shut them down. I mean, I guess not kind of shut them down. They have literally shut them down. They've gotten nothing on offense, and I look to Norwell to, continue to do that. This Norwell team, we've talked, their strength is offense. So I look for them to continue to do that, and but we know that Norwell can't have any lapses on defense.
Or would you, become conservative and just try to run the clock no matter what that 35-point mark is?
Oh, you would definitely be aggressive. You don't let off the pedal until you get to that 35-foot mark or point mark, and then you just continue to keep playing. So go.
Oh, that was De Leon who tried to kick that one off and yanked it out of bounds.
Yeah.
And so that'll start New Haven on the 35, if they so choose. Norwell has just had nothing but success so far tonight, and if you had watched the first drive, you would have thought maybe it could have been a totally different story tonight. Eli Riley threw a pick, and New Haven set themselves up on the 44. And you're going, uh-oh, this could be happening again. New Haven, again, has won every game against Norwell, 8 straight since 2012, back in the sectional. Norwell had a small winning streak against the Bulldogs, and actually the series over the last 35 years is a 20-16 New Haven lead. So it's been fairly even over the course of a long time frame, as Jarrell Jackson gets the carry on first down here to start this third quarter. But again, it's been a different story. Norwell flipped the script quickly on the scoop and score of 50 yards from Joel Rinkenberger, and then from there, Eli Riley had a big pick after Norwell drove, and that put them up 21-0, and the Knights haven't looked back since.
Yeah, they simply just have not looked back at all. They just, as soon as they got their pedal on the metal there, they just kept it down. And like I said, Norwell's really impressed me. On the offensive side of the ball, I've known how good their defense is, but as we all have, but their offense has really impressed me tonight. And one more score, get to that 35-point mark, but first that defense needs to come up with another stop here.
2nd and 7. Williams looking to throw, and he throws, and it's caught in space out in the middle. That's Nick Miles, who has his second grab of the year. as the Bulldogs move the chains this time.
It's probably the best thrown we've seen tonight there by Williams, as he didn't have time. He had to escape the pocket again, but found a receiver open in the middle of the field. And we have blood there on Zach Christensen, has to come out of the game.
And so the Knights will make a sub as Cole Patrick comes into the game to replace him at nose tackle. Throw and catch of 21. And now New Haven has advanced into Norwell territory. Williams rolling right, has a little bit of space with a blocker. It's his tailback, and then he's upended after a gain of a few. So a good hit laid there by Brody Bolin and Isaiah Breggy, but Williams picks up 4 on first down to make 2nd and 6. That's something that New Haven struggled to do, was get first down yardage to make 2nd and 3rd and reasonable.
Yeah, that's what's really hurt them all night, is first and second down they've struggled to gain yards, and third down they've either gotten penalties on second down to put them 3rd and long, or they've just not had any success on first and second down to make third down manageable.
2nd down at 6, ball rested on the 37. Williams throws to the middle of the field, and it's caught out there again. That's Thomas Latham, who has his 6th grab of the year. So several different guys getting involved here in this the early stages of this third quarter. As New Haven moves the chains, they pick up 13 to give themselves 1st and 10 at the 24.
Yeah, they look for the Norwell defense to kind of make adjustments. They're getting good pressure. The DNs just kind of aren't really containing Williams into the pocket.
Williams has protection. A wide open crossing inside the 10 towards the end zone, and it's a touchdown! The Bulldogs are on the board for the first time tonight. That was a well-operated drive, and the Bulldogs are not done yet.
Yeah, this is what I talked about. I mean, Norwell cannot have any lapses in defense. I mean, I figured they wouldn't really be able to put up a shutout against this New Haven offense, as they're really explosive, as we talked, and they're getting good pressure there on Williams, but he's doing a good job keeping his eyes downfield, something that we didn't see him really do in the first half.
New Haven's going for 2 here. That's something they've done most of the season. That was a 24-yard strike to Williams' favorite receiver, Lane Woodson. He's flushed, cuts outside, tries to get to the pylon, and he waltzes in. Norwell, I thought, was going to have him contained. Instead, Williams is able to cross through into the end zone. It's just the 2nd touchdown Norwell has allowed on defense this year, and although it's a 25-point margin, it suddenly seems much more reachable, as New Haven had their way with Norwell's defense on the first drive of the second half.
I tell you what, Norwell cannot get any lackadaisical. They got to keep their aggression up. They were obviously way more aggressive than New Haven in the first half, and they can't let that down. Like we've talked, New Haven has that high-caliber offense. Yeah. They can score quickly.
Yep.
And they scored in, less than 3 minutes there, so.
It is 33-8 on the Steffen Group scoreboard. And so we'll see how Norwell's offense responds. I think that's even more telling.
Yeah.
As, this is just a position that Norwell hasn't been put in hardly at all this year, is trying to score after giving up a defensive score. Just basically having had to do it all year long. And now, even though it's a 25-point lead, it's an offense that's going to start to feel the pressure a little bit.
Yep. And they feel the pressure. We'll see how they respond. But, of course, if Norwell's offense responds, then that touchdown really doesn't matter as much. So we'll see how they respond here.
Oh, man, Jakar Williams is kicking off this time. Good boot. Looked like a toe bash, but gets it down to the 10 where it's returnable. And a decent return across the 30. A return of 23 from Luke Graff that time, and Norwell sets up a decent field position again.
So here we go. Here we go with the Norwell offense. They had a really nice first half. We'll see what they do here in the second half. Keep the tempo rolling. You know New Haven's going to make adjustments. They made adjustments there at halftime and kind of coached some D linemen and defensive backs up. So,
well, something we actually haven't talked about that much that is potentially going to make an impact in this game is the fact that the special teams is actually what's hurting Norwell right now. If they had made the extra points, they'd be up 35-0, and this game would already be over, basically, as Max Ringer is just trying to take that into his own hands. He's had all kinds of success. A first down run of 12 out to the 45 to move the chain.
Norwell offense just picking up where they left off, and that's really good to see from this Norwell offense. Just run to the left side, go behind two big boys, and as Christensen comes back in the game,
that's good to see.
Gets the blood handled there on his arm.
Yeah, it did not appear to be hurt in any way.
No, just maybe a little scratch or something, and enough for a referee to notice, but nonetheless back in the game.
Riley's in the gun. Bragi was in motion before the snap and at the snap. Riley turns the corner, gets to the edge. He's pushed out late, and there's the flag.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Riley ran out on his own ambition and was close to a first down, but this is going to march Norwell well within New Haven territory.
Yeah, Norwell fans clearly upset about that, and I mean they were right to be upset about it. It was clearly a late hit, totally not needed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tonight it's been the penalties that New Haven has committed, the unforced errors. And to be fair, it's not a knock on the program, but the simple fact is this is a recurring theme we've seen from New Haven over the years. You think about the times when Norwell's been close, and there's almost always silly, undisciplined penalties, and that's something we have criticized Norwell for, and that's certainly been the script has been flipped on that tonight as they move all the way to the 30 after the penalty.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the way to the 30-yard line. Norwell needs to take advantage of this, keep their offense rolling.
In New Haven's biggest defensive drive of the game, you need it. You absolutely need a stop here. You basically can't give up any more scores, and you kill yourself with a penalty like that.
Yep.
A 3-yard gain for Ringer on first down puts him at the 27. Just over 3 minutes into this third quarter, Norwell leading New Haven 33-8. The Bulldogs marched on their first drive of the third quarter for their first points of the game, and it was Norwell's second defensive touchdown given up all season long. One of the best in the state. But now the offense has its turn, try to move the football and get back that lead. Riley off his back foot with nobody in the area, and he was looking for Isaiah Bragi, I think, but threw it well out of the reach, just kind of throwing that one away, and it brings up 3rd and 7 for Norwell, and this is pretty critical down.
Yeah, it is. Ultimately, good decision there by Riley. Nobody open, and rather than taking the sack, and he got rid of it, and good decision there by Riley, but brings up a 3rd and 7. I'm interested to see what they do here.
I think the officials may have been talking for a moment about intentional grounding, and I think it was waved off.
Yeah.
He's clearly, he definitely was throwing it away, but Bragi was down there.
Yeah.
Wasn't anywhere close to him, but in any case, it brings up 3rd and 7 for the Knights inside the New Haven 30. This is outside of field goal range, though, presumably. It'll be a 44-yarder, and it's a high bobbled snap. Riley to his right, and he is brought down. And the ball comes out near the end of the play.
They're calling him down.
The line judge has said that he was down by contact, so it puts him at the 31. Riley loses 4.
Well, that's a big hit there on Riley. Kind of slow to get up, but
well, and that play was doomed from the start. A bad snap.
He's kind of holding his shoulder.
Tackle for a loss.
And now Norwell, I would imagine, would have to. Well, I don't have to punt. Doesn't do a ton of good to punt here, and I don't think they're going to. It's 4th rather, and 11. Norwell on the season is 3 of 6 offensively on 4th down, but this is just not a high percentage to get here. Clock is still moving.
I mean, Riley's clearly shaken up, but
yeah, he is
pushing through in it here. So,
and he's going to throw it. Has protection. Riley, sliding grab is made, but I think it's short of the first down. It'll depend on the spot. Bo Morgan slides to the 21, and he is going to be a yard short.
He is going to be short.
So they get 10 on 4th and 11, but New Haven is able to get the stop and force a turnover on downs without allowing points. So a big turning point again, as the Bulldogs could drive here and presumably get this thing under 3 scores.
Yeah, it's a big stop for this New Haven defense. This tough break there for Norwell is just a yard shy of picking up that long 4th down. But
well, this Bulldogs team has clearly shown some resilience here and came out of the locker room a refreshed team.
Yeah.
Whatever Jimmy Lynn said, carried some weight, and Coach Gerber is going to use a timeout here, his first of this second half. We'll keep it right here and talk about the fact that New Haven is just looked like a fresh ball club coming out here in this third quarter.
They really have, and Norwell really needs to respond right about now before this thing gets closer than it is. This is what I was afraid of that was going to happen. Is it's kind of easy to just lay off a little bit when you're up 33-0 going into half. You have a great first half, but I'd expect Norwell to kind of get their stuff together here. And
well, this is the side of the football that they're going to get done on if they do, and so that's yet to be seen. Haven still doesn't have great field position. This puts them at the 21. But again, this is a pivotal drive, as they all are here in this second half. And basically, New Haven has to be flawless. And that's the essential point taken away here, is they've got to be flawless. And they do have to get 5 touchdowns to get into the to take the lead. 4 touchdowns and 4 two-point conversions would get them to 32. So they were successful on their first try, and actually it looked like Norwell was going to get a stop. Instead, Williams was able to beat a couple defenders to the pylon. He takes the snap on first down from the gun, rolls to his left. Bolin gets shoved down, and Williams stays in bounds and cuts back near the 25 before stepping out. A first down run of 5. And so Williams keeping the play alive for a decent first down gain to set up second down and 5.
Norwell had good pressure again. I mean, they're just kind of allowing him to roll out. I wonder if that's kind of in their game plan, as they know Williams isn't the speediest guy. They know they can pursue him. But you give up 4 yards. That's the thing, is you give up 4 yards each play, he scrambles. Essentially that's what he's getting. That's what he's been getting all game. So
another key of that, and I know it's early to be looking at time, but Williams was able to scamper out of bounds, so this stops the clock. Williams throws a deep ball down the sideline, has a man, it falls incomplete. He was looking for Mylan Graham, who had a step on the corner, John Colbert. And so if he's able to haul that in, if that ball's better placed, boy, Graham turned on the jets there and created some quick separation. New Haven had him beat over the top, but they're unable to connect.
Yeah, there's 2 Norwell defenders there running with him, and then he sees the ball in the air, and he just turns on the jets. And you have to imagine if he's sprinting like that right out of his route, he might run underneath that ball. But, I mean, Williams overthrew it and brings up a big third down here for New Haven. Big third down for this Norwell defense.
3rd and 6. Norwell faithful trying to make a little noise. Williams chased by Christensen, and he gets finished off by Cole Patrick.
Nice play.
And Norwell gets the sack and forces the 3-and-out.
That's just great job. But like you said, he was going to make some noise. It's going to be the Norwell defense, and they did. As you can hear these Norwell fans. Zach Christensen's been getting there all game. He just hasn't quite been able to get a hand on Williams, and did there. Came up big and a big time to do it, and forces a New Haven punt.
Williams boots this one away. Another sidewinding kick. Fair catch called for by Breggy at about the 35-yard line. I actually put it back at the 33. 6.5 left here in this third quarter, and Norwell's up 33-8. And so an exhale by the Norwell sideline as they're able to avoid damage on that second New Haven drive of this third quarter, and they're still well within control of the football game. As long as they don't make mistakes and get a couple first downs, they could theoretically take this down to close to the end of the third quarter based on some of the long drives Norwell has sustained so far this season.
Yeah, I'd look for him to try to put together another long drive like you just said. I'd look for him to try to run it down to close to the end of this quarter if they can, and just keep the clock running, as they've had a lot of success in the run game.
Riley hands it off to Ringer, squirts through the middle again, and picks up 7. That has been as sure a play as Norwell's had tonight, is the first down carry to Max Ringer. He's just had about a guaranteed 6, 7, or 8 yards every single time.
Yeah, like you said, we don't have official stats, but I guarantee you he's averaging at least 5 or 6 yards a carry.
At least.
You can't ask better from a running back, especially on first down. I mean, that's just second and short. It opens up the playbook. If you want to take a shot, you're in a good position for third down if you don't take that shot. So
he is Norwell's leading ball carrier, 289 coming into the game, an average 7 yards per carry. Riley Designed keeper. Sprints to the outside across midfield.
And another
across the 45. No penalty, as it looked like he was close to being out of bounds. Almost crashed into a New Haven bench over there.
Yeah.
And it's a big first down run, though, to put the Knights on Bulldog territory at the 44.
Yeah, it was close to a late hit, but didn't get the call, so. Although the thing about going out of bounds is the clock stops. So,
and then that is something that Norwell doesn't want.
Yeah,
you got to keep the clock moving as much as you can. Not saying that that play should have changed.
I was going to say you're in a predicament where you're the quarterback. You want to get out of bounds anyways, not get hurt. But
but that's got to be the key. And
yeah,
you would expect definitely a more run-heavy playbook to be executed here in this second half with a big lead, a 33-point halftime lead. It's 25 now, but as I say that, Riley's going to throw. Instead, he's looking for a blocker. Ringer, as he escapes a couple tackles, reverses field, ducks inside, back between the hash marks to pick up 3. So it was a lot of running for 3 yards, but he keeps things moving in the right direction and puts them in a situation where they get 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I thought he made a good decision. I think he could have, if he would initially taken off, he would have picked up a little more than 3 yards, but made the decision he did. Brings up a good 2nd and 7 here for Norwell as the clock continues to run.
Ringer. Max across the 35. Just about a yard short of that first down marker. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. And what I would imagine, even though with a 25-point lead, you want to keep the football as long as you can. Assuming they don't lose a bunch here, I would think this is probably getting pretty close to 4-down territory.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd look for another run to Ringer for the left side, or maybe another sweep with Riley, as that's been successful.
They've had a lot of success with that, and you would think the plays to the edge New Haven would have the advantage on. But Norwell has... Oh, they got him to jump.
Yep, got him to jump.
And so that'll give him the first down. We don't have to worry about thinking through what Norwell might run. Again, it's just the penalties have just been terrible for New Haven.
It's just a heads-up play by Norwell.
Yeah. And this is a Norwell team that had 9 penalties themselves last week at Belmont in a game they won 45-0. Similar mark at Leo the week before where they were shut out. But they've cleaned that up big time this week. They've had 2 games now, Heritage and this game tonight. It's the 2 games where they haven't had a whole lot of penalties.
Really good to see.
It's a counter.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1 on the 21.
So they mark him, inches short. He needs a couple inches to get to the 20.
Yeah.
So, again, this might be the place to take a shot.
Yeah, especially with it only being 2nd down.
Although they're set up for a pretty predictable run, and that's where they do it. Max Ringer stays on his feet, good balance, and then is smoked by the linebacker. Man, Jamarian Hagler and Travian Thomas were both in there. He was smoked at the end of that play, but he picked up 7 to move the chain.
Yeah, that New Haven linebacker can sit back there all day long and smoke him, but you know what? It's a gain of 7, no matter how hard he hits him. So
a
first down.
Score update, both from Leo, as they are now about halfway through the 4th quarter, and Leo leading East Noble still 17-0.
Wow.
So again, that's a crucial game in the side of the Northeast 8 standings. The East Noble Knights have been in control of this conference for several years now, and that might be changing tonight. Leo, it would be their conference to lose.
Oh, nice.
Ringer, that's actually John Colbert, I think, who checked in.
Yeah, he's just putting his head down and saying, watch this, and just keep the chains rolling. Take a 2nd and 1. And this is the type of drive that I talked about Norwell would try to put together. You're down to almost 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
This would pretty much put it away. If they're able to punch this in, this would put it away. Again, Norwell has just run it down the throat of New Haven secondary here in this on this particular drive. It's been a long drive. Colbert, that time they were ready for it. They stacked him up near the 4. I think they're going to mark him about half a yard short of the first down. So again, Norwell unable to get there, but he'll have third down and very short, inside of a yard.
And I look for this to be 4-down territory as well.
Yeah. Well, field goal doesn't do it.
Well, yeah, exactly. So.
All right. So third down and about a foot. Riley under center. John Colbert in the backfield. 3 receiver set. Breggy in motion. Riley rolls to his right, looking for a couple guys. Had them both open, and it's incomplete. He was a half a beat too late making that decision. He went for Luke Graft instead of Breggy. He actually had both of them open, crossing towards the pylon, but Breggy was late on his release, and it's 4th and a foot.
Like you said, both of them were wide open. I mean, within 5 yards of each other, and a little late decision to throw the ball. Didn't turn out in their favor, but looks like they're bringing out the field goal.
Yeah, that's interesting. So they bring on De Leon. This will be a 21-yard try. De Leon 1 for 1 on the year. 35-yarder last week into the wind at Belmont. 20 for 21 on extra points. So he's been as solid as they come for a freshman. And he's looking to give Norwell a 28-point lead here. Bit of a high snap, but De Leon punches this through. And so Norwell takes a 36-8 lead.
Nice job by De Leon there, kind of making up for this extra point. And good job by the Norwell offense. That's a great offensive drive. I keep harping on it, but you run 4.5 minutes off the clock and just continue to march. And their running game's really impressed me tonight. A lot of that's winning battles up front, and so I got to give it to those guys up front. So far in this game, they've just really won the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and it's controlled the game for sure.
Again, just basically one drive where the Norwell defense has faltered. New Haven was able to string together a pretty nice drive to open this third quarter, but Norwell has just been better. They've just been able to curb. Again, getting that stop was crucial. I mean, in this third quarter, New Haven got the ball back down 33-8 and forced Norwell to turn it over on downs. Norwell was able to force a 3-and-out then in return, and then that long drive almost puts the game away. And it's pretty much on ice right now. New Haven, again, has to be perfect, and they're going to have some things go their way against a Norwell defense that's given up 2 touchdowns in almost 5 games.
It's just impressive, and they've continued to impress, so I'd like for them to continue to keep impressing all of us and stay in their true Norwell defense form.
They tried De Leon to kick off last time. This is Josh Scott again. Back to the 10.
Great kickoff.
Returnable. And they fake the handoff as Quantry Sanders gets out across the 30. So a little deception there on the kickoff return. I think New Haven's gotten more creative in this second half with their play calling and their special teams. But Norwell was ready for it in some senses. They get out to the 33, so it's a return of 23. And that's where New Haven will start their drive.
First and 10 for the Bulldogs.
This will be another big stop for the Norwell defense. As you said, this game's on ice. Will it really put it even more on ice? Norwell to get a stop here. Don't allow New Haven to score at all.
Knights were showing a safety blitz that time, but they called it off. As Carr Williams changes the play at the line of scrimmage. He throws it back across the field and butterfingers by Mylan Graham. That was a well-thrown ball, and that was right in the numbers.
That's what, I mean, it was. We've seen that twice now.
Yeah.
On screens, just simple passes. And
they have struggled on screens tonight in ways that we thought they wouldn't. There was another one to tailback Terrell Jackson in that first half where they tried to get him slipping out of the backfield. And, again, that was a bad thrown, a poorly thrown ball. This one was as well thrown as they come. It was off his back foot and crossed his body, but he made a good throw. They just weren't able to connect. Williams chased, floats it, incomplete.
Great job again by number 70, Zach Christensen, as he's a little frustrated there that he didn't get to him, and he knows he probably could have had a sack there if he'd have broke down and made a tackle, but nevertheless forced an errant throw as they've been doing all night on Williams, and brings up a long third down here for New Haven.
Mylan Graham, the intended receiver, again in the slot. Just over a minute left in this third quarter. These quarters feel never ending. We're used to games that last an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah,
and we are almost at the 9 o'clock hour. So almost 2 hours of gameplay thus far, and we actually haven't reached the fourth quarter yet, even though it's 36-8. 3rd and 10 for New Haven. Williams, and he's able to escape some pressure and then taken down from behind by Brody Bolin.
Yeah, great job by Brody. He didn't quite get the pursuit he probably wanted, but that's good containment there. You know, they might have had him drop back and just do that job that he just did. That's just a great job there by Brody.
Brings up 4th and 8 on the 35.
Looks like Kuntz and Breggy back to receive this punt here by Williams.
No reason to take any chances. Well, he gets off a wobbling kick, doesn't he? Breggy does decide to return it, which I thought was interesting.
You know, I kind of watched him punt it, and he doesn't face it like a punter would. He kind of
he just there.
Yeah, he just punts it. He's a big leg, and hey, it works.
Yeah, however you get the job done.
That's right.
In reality, it works out the same as. I mean, he's been averaging close to 40 yards on most of his punts. And that was a pretty short return. So Norwell starts on the 31. If they run it, it'll be the last play of the third quarter. So we have struggled to limp to the fourth quarter. But I guess this is what a normal football game feels like.
Yeah.
You have pass plays.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Norwell's certainly opened up the playbook offensively.
Yeah, they have. I agree with you there. And past weeks, they've gotten to the running clock even. Every game besides Leo's been to the running clock. So, and even Leo, both teams are running the ball, so it's a fast game no matter what. I mean, even there was a bunch of penalties in the Leo game, and they still continue.
All right, so that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter after a 4-yard run from Max Ringer. And the Knights leading 36-8 in firm control with the football as we head to our final quarter of play. Let's take a break and return after these words. It's Norwell football on WellsCountyVoice.com.
Bluffton Tire, you know where they're located, across the street from Bummy's, right at the entrance to the 4-H Park, has been serving Wells County for over 50 years. Bluffton Tire needs to be the first stop for brakes, struts, front-end alignment, and offers over 20 different brands of tires. Stop by and see Carrie Jennis today or visit online at BlufftonTire.com for online specials and coupons. Bluffton Tire is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Hi, this is Carrie Jennis at Bluffton Tire, and we'll keep you going.
Back here at the courtyard, 36-8 Knights here as we head to the fourth quarter of play. And the Bulldogs are on the ropes, facing their second straight loss after losing 35-8 last week at home in what has been a historically difficult place to play. Now, the knock, and we were talking before the game, the knock on the New Haven program over the years has been the inability to win in the tournament. They have a lot of seasons where they go 7-2, 6-3, 8-1 even, and are just unable to get through the sectional round. And, you know, there's a lot of different potential reasons for that.
Yep.
They play in this year they're playing in an ultra-competitive conference, although I think we expected a closer game here tonight. Oh, boy. That could have gone wrong. Riley loses a couple.
Riley sacked on the play by number 4, Quandre Sanders.
You know, they handle that snap. There was a hole there for him to hit, so.
But anyway, back to the point about New Haven. You know, they just have never been able to win in the tournament. Norwell's knocked them off a couple of times in the tournament as big underdogs. And again, that's for a variety of reasons, but the Bulldogs just haven't been able to get it together. This does not appear to be, after what we've seen tonight, obviously, and last week against Leo, this does not appear to have, the dominating factor that they sometimes have in the runaway, breakaway offense.
Yeah.
Even though they beat the top-ranked team in Pioneer just 2 short weeks ago. Riley throws a deep ball down the sideline and incomplete. Almost had it, and it would have been a huge gain as Riley was looking for Bo Morgan, but it falls incomplete, and the Knights will have to punt.
So that's a great ball thrown there by Eli Riley. Just out of the reach there of Bo Morgan. He got his fingertips on it, and as some would say, you get your fingertips on it, you got to come up with the catch. But that's tough there for Bo. So.
He laid out to get it.
That's right.
Just was unable to come up with it. Be interested to see Riley's completion percentage after this game. I'm supposed to tell you that stuff, but I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately. Riley quickly has a good pursuit that time by the New Haven special teams unit. It's caught off a hop by Quantry Sanders. And Luke Graff and Bo Morgan team up to take him down at the 30.
Yeah, 2 gunners there from the outside. That's their job, contain the punt returner. And they did a nice job not letting him get outside, forcing him back inside, and ended up bringing him down themselves.
So New Haven starts on the 31 with just under 11 minutes left in the ball game. They trail by 28. And Norwell, if there were any doubts that crept in early in that third quarter after they basically let New Haven do what they wanted offensively and march to the end zone, other than that, Norwell's been as good as it comes tonight. Now, they've struggled offensively here as of late, the last few drives. Some of that goes back to trying to run the clock and manage the game, and that's just fine. But at the end of the day, the offense is as much to credit here as the defense, as that's going to be a hold on New Haven. That will bring this first down play back, even though the Bulldogs only got 1 or 2.
There is a flag on the play.
And I'm assuming Norwell will take the penalty. I'll actually get it for a illegal low block. So
penalty on the Bulldogs for a chop block.
I love our job. And he'll back him up half the distance.
Wow.
So it's better than a hold for Norwell. So it gets him inside the 16-yard line. Wow. Well, actually, it wasn't. Let me take that back. It wasn't half the distance. 15-yard penalty because it was at the 31, not at the 30. If it had been the 30, still would have been 15 yards, but would have been half the distance. See, I just need to move down to the field. Let's do that. Been calling games from up here for a long time. Talk like I'm old.
He's got him
floater.
out here.
Oh, they've got him.
Yep.
And they just get the penalty yardage back and a little bit more. Thomas Latham makes his second grab of the night. And they get 16 on first down.
Ran a great route there. I saw Williams looking there the whole way, and just a little outpost route there. Ran a great route. Should be second and 8.
Yeah, it is second down.
Correction, 2nd and 8.
Williams, an empty backfield this time, 4 receivers to the right. And he fires one to the middle. Almost a really great grab, and it's going to be PI. Bo Morgan's going to get called for pass interference here.
I was going to say that's a great defensive play because it looked like he just kind of timed the ball perfectly. But
Nick Miles, the intended receiver.
The line judge didn't think so.
So this will move the chains. In high school, it's not an automatic first down, but the yardage will result in one. This game continues to pretty much crawl along at this point. One of the first really big penalties of the night for Norwell. They've just been so clean on both sides of the football.
Yep.
No really silly penalties.
Nope, no.
Yeah, it's hard to fault a guy for that one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That just happens.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a bang call, and it went against Norwell. But at the end of the day, that's still pretty good defense. Bolin, I think, jumped. Apparently did not cross.
No, he's lined up about a yard back, and that's probably a little buffer for him as he's quick enough to make up for that yard. So that's good choice by him.
Williams. Oh, he's in trouble.
Pick.
And, well, 2 defenders fought over it. As, you know what, that might be, well, Joel Rinkenberger's rolling around on the turf. I think it might have been a jammed finger.
Yeah, it was looking like he's taking his glove off.
Oh, man. There's some pain there. Breggy and Rinkenberger both tried to intercept that pass. Jace Cheney will replace him.
He's hurt. I know. He's in a lot of pain.
So he'll receive some attention as it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Well, that was good. I mean, good pressure there on Williams, forced an errant throw again.
Yep.
It's happened multiple times.
So it is official at Leo, the Lions are victorious 24-0 over East Noble. A shutout victory. Boy, a couple really shocking scores in the Northeast 8 tonight. That's out of the reach of Thomas Latham off his right hand. And a late penalty comes in. Zach Christensen being pulled away by the officials. This might be on Norwell, and I'm telling you, this is the same exact thing that has plagued Norwell for weeks now. Let's go, Blue! Yeah, that's just something that cannot happen. If it is indeed against Norwell, that is something, no matter what happens, especially up 28 in the fourth quarter, that can't happen. Yeah.
All I know is Christensen's pretty
well,
heated.
Oh, yeah.
Something that happened.
Yeah. Bo, at what point do you take a different approach? Because this is the same issue that Norwell has had now for 3 weeks. I mean, the exact same kind of penalties where somebody gets frustrated and either mouths off or takes a late shot, especially in a game where you're up 28.
Yeah.
I mean, in simple terms, it just can't happen.
No,
there's got to be.
It seriously can, especially in a game like this where, like you said,
right,
you're
it's
up
not going to have an
points.
outcome on the impact of the game.
No.
Okay? It's not going to affect the outcome of the game. The point being that it will make an impact at some point. It did make an impact at Leo.
Exactly, and the total fact is that these players need to realize that mouthing off or giving another shove or something after the play, a little extracurricular, is not going to get them anywhere.
New Haven does not get the playoff, so it's a delay of game. Jakar Williams is saying something to the White Hat about the play clock might have been moved after the
Well, we know that
penalty.
play clock there on the east side of the.
Well, it was at 0, so that one, unless it jumped.
We know it lags, and
it has had problems in the past. This will back them up to the 42. But, I think we can probably leave it at that. I don't know how much more we can say about the late hit, personal foul, unsportsmanlike issue. But Norwell's got to be, leading the conference in penalties like that. Williams is going to air it out down the right sideline, intended for Woodson, and it falls incomplete. It was actually a decently thrown ball towards the sideline in a decent spot, but it was just a little bit overcooked. And
still 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
It's crawling, man.
I mean, I expected to maybe see 6 or 7, but I mean, you think the average play is about 7 seconds, and if they're passing the ball and it's a lot
of incompletions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of incompletions. It's good for the Norwell defense, but
they didn't.
Nope.
Norwell's lined up about a half a yard to maybe 2 feet off the ball, and it has really helped them out. That's Brody again on the same play.
Dropped a screen
bobbled screen pass, and Morgan finishes off Nick Miles, who has actually become a late Woodson, but he's been sealed up most of the night. Had that 121-yard catch in the first half.
I'm going to throw something out there, kind of a little off topic, but I wish we had instant replay for this reason. That on that screen pass, you did not see one Norwell defender on our side of the hash. You saw every Norwell defender pursuing the ball, and that just speaks to volume of the coaches and what they've stressed, and Coach Gerber and Coach Matt Taylor is just being aggressive, and that's why this Norwell defense is so good.
3rd and 15. Williams over the middle. It's Nick Miles again for a first down.
Williams pass complete to 22, Nick Miles. Tackle made by Breggy.
And so this will set New Haven up inside the 25.
10 for the Bulldogs on the
Clock on the move, approaching 9 minutes.
That's something good to see. The clock's rolling.
Yeah, it's something we don't see very often.
Yeah, not a lot. Not very often when New Haven has the ball in their hands, but first time I heard the student section tonight.
I think you're hearing Ked.
Trying to make some noise.
Williams floats it to the left side. Intercepted at the 10-yard line. And a good return opportunity down to the 40 as John Colbert gets his first interception of the season and a return of 35 yards. And New Haven unable to convert close to the red zone.
That's huge. That's huge. I mean, that's Prespaciel and John. That's just, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's just great play by Colbert there, just jumping the route. And they've ran that route a couple times, and Colbert's learned it on his side of the field, and just read Williams the whole way.
Well,
he had Williams read the whole way.
Now at this point, you get as conservative as it gets.
Oh, yeah, that's
right. I think that's Colbert back there with him.
Ringer. Definitely a ringer.
Oh, yeah, good call.
There's something about the ringers that you can just tell by the way they stand. It's just, that's a ringer.
Well, big pick by John Colbert thwarts yet another New Haven drive. Norwell is now +3.
Second and 5 on the 49.
I checked that, +2 on the night in the turnover margin.
That makes him, what, plus
10?
10 on the season.
Double digits. I told you this turnover change.
That's huge. Yeah, you do need a turnover change for that. That's just spread the wealth too.
Right, and after
it's
being
not just one guy getting
exactly after -7 last year, and now they had a defensive touchdown tonight as well. Oh boy, Aiden Kuntz is blown up behind the line of scrimmage and thrown to the turf by Dre Wright, who's been quieted most of the night. And again, we talked about him. He's leading the Bulldogs in basically every defensive category, and he looked like the real deal there.
Well, at that point, New Haven kind of just called an all-out linebacker blitz there.
7 on the 47.
They had 7 guys rushing, and you have 5 guys on the line, maybe 6. You can't block all 7, and Wright happened to be the free one. Blew the play up.
Well, at the end of the day, the clock's moving here. Oh,
Called
boy.
it again.
Riley drops it off to Breggy, who has a first down and much more. Across the 35, inside the 30, and he's thrown down after a huge first down gain. Javarian Hagler in there to make the tackle, and he is down.
Breggy is down. He was thrown to the ground. I've seen that called a personal foul before. It's just like a wrestling move, kind of just sumo him over.
It's a forward motion variation of a suplex. Bragy's up.
Yeah,
Brody Bolin called the training staff onto the field, and Bragy's shaking his head as he tries to shake out whatever happened to him. We couldn't really see what happened, but we know that he got vigorously thrown down.
Yeah.
In any case, it was a big first down as the Knights continue to keep the chains moving and keep the clock moving. Caden Laley checks in at receiver for the Knights, his first action tonight.
To note, I've been harping about play calling, and that's just great. I mean, it's been great all night, but they're blitzing linebackers. There's nothing better than a little screen.
Oh, that's a nice play. Blake Hafley running towards the end zone and tackled just short. A pickup of 27, and I'm telling you, this thing's getting a little chippy back there near the line of scrimmage. A couple Norwell players are, as Bo Morgan goes toe-to-toe with a defensive lineman from New Haven, and now the officials are going to stop this game and talk about things. Bo Morgan was not happy right off of the bat there as a couple Norwell players getting into it. They end up sending off Sidney Bassett, the D tackle, which I think is probably the right way to handle things.
Yep.
Send him off without a penalty, which is how things should have been handled at Leo a couple weeks ago. Shouldn't have brought that up.
But you did, and
I did.
See, you did. So that's just, that's what.
Blake Hafley gets 26 on first down, his first carry of the night. Hafley has been used in a much more limited role than we thought he would be, but he has exploded in it. You know, I think this year, these are the kind of carries that you might see him get deeper into the season, especially as guys start to fall off. Inevitably, Norwell's going to have some injuries somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't stay healthy forever, and it's just kind of the way it goes, especially as you get into the meat of a high school football season. First and goal in the 2, under 7 minutes left, and Norwell with a 28-point lead trying to build on that. Riley in the gun, Aiden Kuntz back there with him. Kuntz gets the carry. Kuntz has the touchdown.
Good for Aiden Kuntz. Senior night for him. Gets the call there. Hey, running clock. There's my math off. They need an extra point here.
They need the PAT. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. Well,
it does matter with as much as New Haven throws the ball.
Forever.
Doesn't matter if it's incomplete or not at that point. You're just, clock's rolling. So,
well, this has been an impressive offensive performance. There's no other way to put it. tonight. They've actually outscored themselves in every one of their wins except last week at Belmont. And this is against a really quality opponent. That one driven through by De Leon, no doubt about it.
Almost blocked. Kind of held my breath there for a second, but you know what? We get to the 35-point mark.
So after the kickoff, this will start the running clock. 43-8. Norwell's on top here in what has been the shocking score, although that 24-0 Leo win over East Noble is pretty shocking too.
Yeah.
But the Northeast 8, we've talked about the competitiveness of the league. Now, Norwell goes, that's really interesting because Norwell brings a huge win, just a ginormous win for the program, momentum-building victory into next week at a East Noble team who got dominated. They've won 24 regular season games in a row in the Northeast 8. So, that's just huge coming into tonight. Just had their first loss in 3 seasons in the conference, and now has to come home to face a Norwell team coming off a huge victory. So if there was ever a time for Norwell to get East Noble off guard,
it's next week. And I feel like that's part of what happened tonight, too, is New Haven's coming off Leo as well, catching them down and coming off a blowout loss and hit them with another blowout loss. Well, I can't imagine it's going to be a blowout win next week for Norwell as East Noble. Well, we also
I don't know. Exactly. We didn't see this one coming either.
This Norwell team is a very good team. I mean, it's
there's no way. Yeah. This is going to be a competitive team in the sectional. It's Norwell's, arguably the best team in the sectional. To me, Concordia is up there, obviously, again, and their schedule strength is so darn good as they play in the SAC. So they always come into or normally at least, come into the year.
Oh, he touches it.
Did he?
Touched it before it went out of bounds. It's going to be. No. Oh, he throws a flag.
Yeah, apparently he didn't touch it.
Oh, he definitely bounced that ball off the turf. Wow.
All right, so apparently the New Haven returner back there did not lay a finger on it, which is what, hey, they're 75 yards closer than we are here. And it'll put them at the 35, but hey, guess what? The clock's running. Norwell, again, it's just, you look at the sectional and the way it's set up, should basically be Concordia, and that's it. It's not a real strong sectional.
Yeah, and even last year, even if Concordia is returning most, I know Norwell is returning most, and hey, Norwell gave Concordia a really good game last year. I felt like coming out of that game that they should have won that game. They made some mistakes.
Yeah, they did. That was a fun game to watch.
They beat themselves essentially last year against Concordia. Concordia was definitely not the better team that night. So
I think Norwell had the game plan to win.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, boy. Deep ball over the middle. That might be picked again. Colbert gave a run at it as Lane Woodson looking for a penalty flag.
That's just good physicality there by Colbert again. I mean, Woodson's looking for a penalty, but hey, you're playing physical on both sides of the ball. You got to expect it back. Yep. And you can't just – he kind of just gave up on the route.
Yeah, he did. And here's what you don't want to see in this last 5-minute segment. You just don't want to see – really either team, but especially Norwell, do anything silly again. Because we've already had the Zach Christensen penalty, and he's not in the game right now and won't be for the rest of this one. But, New Haven has kind of given it back as well, and it's just something that cannot happen moving forward. We're halfway through the season now, amazingly, as this is the conclusion of Week 5. We're actually over the hump now in the regular season.
Wow. It goes by fast, Derek.
It certainly does.
It was the same when I played. Yeah. You blink, and the next thing you know, you're preparing for Huntington North in your last game, and it's like, what happened to the season?
Yeah, so, one week left in September. That's it. Wow. We're almost in October and getting into the thick of the things.
Wow.
Before you know it, we'll be flipping the calendar to November, and that's, of course, when basketball gets rolling and all the winter sports. It's still yet to be seen what happens with basketball season. Obviously, COVID's still lurking and threatening to play a part in that. Incomplete as Williams threw it again to Mylan Graham. Was right at his face mask and almost was able to haul it in. Would have been a first down. Instead, New Haven will have to punt again.
I'm surprised they don't just choose to go for it down, but hey. At this point, it really doesn't matter. They know the game's over. They know.
Well, at this point, all you got to do is kick it away, and Norwell runs 3 plays, and the game's over.
Yeah, that's true.
And similar boot to what we've seen all night from Jakar Williams, although this one takes a Norwell-friendly bounce back to the 32.
Punt by Williams will be spotted at the 32.
So a couple plays will seal the deal here for Norwell in their 4th win of the season. Again, we've talked about and previewed that the Knights go to East Noble next week, and a place in Kendallville that has not been friendly to Norwell over the years, have really struggled to get victories up there. And also of note, we're unsure if we'll be able to be on the air. East Noble is one of those schools we talked about that is charging per broadcast, so we're unsure if we're going to be able to be there in any fashion at all. If we are able to be there, we'll bring it to you, whether it's audio only or not. Hand off again to Kuntz, who's getting the bulk of the carries now in his 4th quarter on senior night, and picks up 6 on first down.
I like to see Kuntz. I know we see him.
Yeah, we've argued that we should see him maybe more in a couple plays throughout, regular time.
Yeah, and he wasn't the normal punt returner, but tonight he was. Before this game, he was not. So I think he's definitely earning a spot, and it's just good to see out of a senior who doesn't get much playing time, but a
hardworking kid.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you can't discredit him anything for that. It is what it is, and he's obviously supporting the team and playing his role, which is good to see.
Close to a first down is Kuntz.
Kuntz on the carry.
They'll say he's about half a yard short. Under 2 minutes to go as Norwell puts the finishing touches on what's going to be a 43-8 victory over the Bulldogs here. One really nobody saw coming. And this is a game that has surprised us as much as it will surprise everybody else who learns of this score tonight in the Northeast 8. Testament to the big shakeup that's going on in the Northeast 8 right now. Leo has kind of taken the reins of the conference now with their victory tonight. Although Norwell and East Noble are still very much in the thick of things. Well, that was a disaster of a play.
Yeah. Well, if scores dictate anything, Norwell played Leo the best this season. Between Leo, New Haven, or between East Noble, New Haven, and
it was
Norwell.
Norwell's defense is, I think, the difference in that margin.
And that's what I think is going to be a big factor in next week's game as we look forward to East Noble. That's just, this game makes me even more excited for next week at East Noble. And I knew Norwell had the great defense, but I was kind of iffy about the strength of the offense, and they just cleared up the issues for me tonight as they've been nothing short but of impressive. So
it's 4th down. Norwell's going to have to punt or take the penalty. They will take the penalty. Well, actually, the clock doesn't stop, so that's interesting.
Smart.
Actually, they don't have to punt it.
They don't even have to do anything.
Yeah. Coach Herbert knew that, and so they will not have to punt. Norwell is going to win this ball game 43-8. They earn their 4th victory of the season, and it is time to celebrate on the Norwell sideline. The Knights haven't had this much fun in a ball game in a long, long time. A potentially program-defining victory here tonight as they get the big win over the Bulldogs.
It's just huge. It's huge. Like you said, program-defining is huge. I know Coach Gerber has been building a foundation, and I think it's finally time to put the finishing touches on that and just continue to roll with this program. He's done a really nice job.
A reminder that your
Knights is this his 5th year already?
This is his 5th year, and that was win number 14. So obviously it hasn't shown up in the win column until now. This could be the big turning point for the Knights as they win this one 43-8. Final touches, Bo, before we wrap things up, and hopefully we'll be able to broadcast at East Noble next week.
Well, like I said, the offense impressed me a lot tonight. But overall, I think, like I said earlier, it's winning the line of scrimmage. And I said it was going to be fun to watch, and it definitely was if you're a Norwell fan, as they just completely dominated the line of scrimmage on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Kind of dictated what Norwell could do on offense. And then on defense, New Haven really couldn't get anything going against this Norwell defense. So I think the line of scrimmage definitely dictated the game, and Norwell had some players step up and make key plays in big spots.
They certainly did. Like we said, we touched on the fact that we'll be at East Noble if we can next week. We'll do everything in our power to get there. If not, we will be back here at home as Norwell will hopefully face DeKalb. The Barons have been all over the place with COVID and have had 3 of their 4 games canceled, but they were scheduled to play in Columbia City tonight. On behalf of Christian Bohada and on behalf of our owners, Scott and Dale Menser, Norwell wins this one 43-8. This is Derek Decker saying so long and God bless.
We hope you enjoyed this broadcast on the Voice Enterprises. Remember, none of this would be possible without the support of our sponsors. Please take time to tell them thank you and to use their services whenever possible. Join us again next time on WellsCountyVoice.com.